97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Serving my country required sacrifice that changed my life forever. I remember the day I came home. Because of my injuries, this house wasn't right for me anymore. I remember the narrow doorways, the small bathrooms, the shelves out of reach when in my wheelchair. Every day was full of obstacles. I felt trapped. I remember a better day, the day my family received a specially adapted custom home from Homes for Our Troops. That day changed everything. Now we have a safe and accessible home to enjoy the freedom I fought for. This place, our home, is exactly what we needed to rebuild our lives.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Ready to shoot your shot? Log into BetMGM and make your picks in our March Matchups $250K Pick'em for your chance to win a share of bonus bets. It's free to play and easy to get started. Just log into your BetMGM account and predict what will happen at different points throughout the college basketball tournament. You'll earn points with every correct answer, which gives you a shot to win a share of bonus bets. That's right. Just pick what will happen throughout March matchups, and if you make enough correct picks, you'll win a share of the $250K in bonus bets. You think you know college basketball? Log into BetMGM and make your picks to win a share of $250K in bonus bets. It's free to play. BetMGM and GameSense reminds you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards or non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is going to be your mic, Josh.
The KFH Studios, powered by Devon James Injury Lawyers. Call 888-8888.
That's 888-8888. Traffic.
We have an injury traffic accident a little ways out in the county, but to the 85th Street North and Ridge Road. That's just a little ways west of Valley Center. Traffic update from 98.7 to 1330 KNSS. I'm Ted Chambers.
Weather.
Spring is officially here. Partly cloudy skies. Wind's not going to be as strong, but there's still going to be breeze at 10 to 20
Spring
miles
is officially here.
Now, we do have to get to a freezing start this morning, but then high temperatures warming back up closer to average, high of 58. With your Storm Track 3 forecast, I'm meteorologist Ronell Williams.
Your levels good on your headset, Tony.
Wichita's official radio voice of the NFL. This is 97.
I've got good.
1240 KFH.
Are we on there, Tony?
And headquarters 97.5 and 1240.
Can't hear us during breaks right now, can you? Can you hear me on there now?
Clearwater, an Odyssey sports station.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jacob Albright. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Vikings will not be pursuing quarterback Aaron Rodgers, leaving just the Giants and Steelers as his best options in 2025, according to NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero. Pelissero also reports that Minnesota has rejected multiple trade offers for quarterback J.J. McCarthy, as they plan to move forward with him as their starter. Meantime, Alabama held their Pro Day Wednesday in Tuscaloosa, showcasing NFL prospects, including quarterback Jalen Milroe, who ran an impressive 4.37 40 time. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero reporting that Milroe recently had dinner with the Steelers and head coach Mike Tomlin. Linebacker Micah Parsons is still in search of a new contract.
Whose idea was this?
Every hour will warm up.
However, NFL Network's James Slater
I think it was
reports
my
the
idea,
Cowboys
actually.
and Parsons have yet to begin any meaningful
My bad,
talks.
guys.
This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother
Where are
got
your
life
ski
insurance
pants,
from
Tony?
Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a
Got
few
the old
health
thermal
questions
pants
right
on.
from his house.
Ethos,
Thermal
here we
sock.
come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome in the spring. Welcome in March Madness. It is day one of both here, and we are coming to you live the next 4 hours, both today and tomorrow, from Naftzger Park, just outside INTRUST Bank Arena, where the party will be starting very, very soon. Welcome in, everybody. We're excited about that. We've been waiting on this only for, about 4 years since Wichita had its last bid canceled because of COVID. So the city's ready to party. Fans are ready to party. We got great fan bases in from other teams, all kinds of good stuff coming. And so we're here to party too. We'll be out here. In fact, our Odyssey family will be out here at Naftzger Park. This is the official FanFest of the event. So there's all kinds of stuff happening right here around us at Naftzger, of course, on both sides of the arena. But stop by, say hi if you make your way down, and when you make your way down. I know we'll take people kind of right up to pregame coverage, and the games tip off pretty much when we leave the air. So we're looking forward to it. Tommy, welcome.
Yeah, it's good to see you today. I know today is officially the first day of spring. Doesn't really feel like it right now, but it will. It's going to warm up as the day continues, as we roll on through the rest of this week into this weekend. It's going to be really, really nice. It's kind of the calm before the storm out here at Naftzger. Sun isn't up yet. It's pretty quiet around here at Naftzger Park, but it won't be as we get through the morning, and we'll be here the entire time.
Yeah, it'll be the weather will cooperate in just a little bit. I don't know how people with real jobs do it. It's cold standing outside here for the next 4 hours, but it'll warm up each and every hour. Got like a bucket of coffee here. There's all kinds of stuff. We're right next to some restaurants, so we'll make do. We'll have fun. We're glad to be here. We're glad to have everybody with us wherever it is that you're with us right now, whether it's on KFH. You can still give us a call at 869-1240. We've got Max back in the studio. He can take those calls. We can also take your video comments on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. And thanks for watching us, of course, on 12 News Plus. We're going to have Visit Wichita's Josh Howell stop by here in just a minute. He can walk us through how this all works. Visit Wichita kind of spearheading getting these things to come here. What's the latest this year? What's the latest in the future? For Wichita and these sorts of events, especially particularly this NCAA tournament. So we'll have that coming for you. We've got Tim Fitzgerald coming up a little bit later as well. We'll kind of decompress on K-State's basketball season, early portal news perhaps, who's coming back, who's staying, who's leaving, and then maybe some football notes with Fitz. We got our guys Brandon Zinner, TJ Cleland. They're double duty for 12 News like I am. They're going to stop by a couple of times here throughout the next couple of days. We got all kinds of fun stuff coming for you. Come say hi again as you make your way down. I know a lot of people are playing hooky from the second part of their workday. We'd encourage it. We think it's a great idea, and we think you should get down here.
Yeah, you definitely should. I mean, I think that's okay. I think your boss will understand if you play hooky and come on down here to Naftzger Park when the games tip off. The first game here in Wichita is at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. But, of course, all the games or some of the earlier games tip off a little bit after 11 a.m. this morning. And the cool thing about being down here at Naftzger Park, you and I were talking about this before we came on the air. The last time the tournament was here in Wichita in 2018, Naftzger Park wasn't Naftzger Park like it is today.
Right.
And in that time, in the last 7 years, of course, this entire area right off of Douglas and St. Francis has been absolutely transformed. And so it's going to be a great place, even if you're not planning on going inside INTRUST Bank Arena to watch any of the games. If you don't have tickets, come down here and party because they've got the big video board. They're going to be showing the games. We'll probably have, I know that Parks and Rec City of Wichita, they've been working on getting all the schools cheerleading squads and marching bands and all of that down here. Food trucks, bar trucks. I mean, you name it. There's going to be so much down here to just party and enjoy the atmosphere, watch the games on the big screen, even if you're not going inside the arena to watch the games that are here locally.
I've been to a lot of these sites through my work at 12 News, and I can tell you I've never been to one that was as good as what Wichita did the first time. Now the setup is even better. That tournament coming in got a lot of things changed. I think, one of the big reasons we now have Naftzger to sort of connect the arena to Old Town is because of that. And now you've got this perfect scenario. You'll have all the watch parties for these teams and everything happening sort of in the Old Town area, and then you just can make your way down into the arena. And then even on the south side of the arena where there's a ton of other things set up, just walk around. Just like make your way around. It's awesome. And it's really a chance for Wichita to beat its chest. Tommy gives me a hard time. This is why I've been so concerned about KU being here all year and all of these other things, because I want this to be amazing. And I want, as we'll talk to Josh Howell in a little bit, the bid process to be even easier as Wichita tries to do this and get into a rotation and make this a very frequent thing. The NCAA tournament, Wichita's built for it. I mean, this is
totally,
you're in the college basketball craziest part of the world where people will show up and do things. And I popped in yesterday to a part of the practice sessions, and we'll get TJ and Brandon's take on this because they were in there all day yesterday. They had big crowds in there to watch practice, not necessarily capacity, like when it was KU a few years ago that really, I think, shocked kind of the whole country. That became a little bit of a national story, but there were people just in there to watch practice, and there are great storylines all over this tournament, which we'll explore throughout. I mean, you can find them everywhere. There are so many local ties to this tournament here, and I think we got as good a draw as any region. I kind of looked at all the regions, was like, is anybody a better collection of 8 teams? I would say regionally specific, no, because we got Houston, we got Tech, we got Missouri, we got Drake, we got, I think it's 5 drivable schools.
Then you throw in Gonzaga that has a great fan base. You throw in Georgia, an SEC school.
And those fan bases will travel.
Those fan bases will travel for sure. I think the other big thing, and I neglected to mention this with the FanFest out here at Naftzger Park when it officially opens at 10 a.m. I'm sure that we're going to start to see, crazy crowds even before then. But the biggest thing is that it's free to the public.
Yeah.
So even if you, like I said, don't have a ticket inside INTRUST Bank Arena right over our shoulders, that's okay. I mean, come on down here. It's not going to cost you anything. I know there are like you mentioned, parties all over the place. Some of the parties are, ticketed events. This one is not, and this is the official one with the city of Wichita.
Yeah.
And so you can, like we talked about, play hooky. It's spring break, so bring the kids out and just, enjoy it. And you don't have to worry about a ticket or anything like that. It's free to just come out and hang out.
And if you need a note for hooky, we'll sign them.
We will.
You make it, we'll sign it. We'll get you a hall pass today.
Also, by the way, I want to mention a big thank you to our friends over at both Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. They made it possible for us to be down here at FanFest. And so a huge thank you to them for making that possible for Odyssey to be here.
And thank you to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us warm here this morning with all the great coffee
they provide for us. Thanks to Tony for getting this set up for us here this morning. We're going to have some fun. We'll be back out here tomorrow too, by the way. But yeah, I'm looking right at the big screen. I'm looking right at the bar truck. I'm looking at food all around me. Just come down, hang out, even if you're not going to the games. That's the whole point. Just be down here, kind of celebrate the city. It's a party for Wichita, and we are very happy to be a part of it. So when we return, we're going to bring in Josh Howell, visit Wichita, and learn about how this stuff works, how this happens, how do we do it again, what kinds of things are we going to expect here. That's all coming for you over the next 4 hours.
4 hours. We're going live for 4
baby.
hours, buddy.
We'll be right back on the other side.
$66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say,
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Yo, I haven't got all day.
869-1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back out to Naftzger Park, just outside INTRUST Bank Arena, as we're counting down the hours to get basketball underway. 1 o'clock tip times here, but the tournament starts around 11 o'clock, and you can come watch those early games with us. We'll be set up here throughout the show today, and then afterward, we've got all kinds of fun stuff happening here at Naftzger Park and all around downtown Wichita. Welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Castor here, and we bring in from Visit Wichita, Josh Howell.
Wow. I like that you hit that applause button.
So they gave us, we don't normally give buttons, Josh, so we're going to use buttons here. Josh, this is awesome. I know it's a lot of work on the back end to get to this point. Feel a little relieved today?
A little bit, yeah. You know, I heard you guys talking about it, you know, before in the first segment, and we are definitely a part of that bid. But I got to first make sure I give all the credit and praise to Brad Pittman and his whole team at Wichita State. You know, I'm out here talking to you guys because I can, but he's in there probably already, to be honest with you. And his whole team, they put in a ton of work for this event. It's a big reason why the NCAA keeps coming back. Brad and his entire team do a great job. They know that when they bring this event to Wichita, it's going to be done first class. And so I think that's a huge part of it. So before, I just wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to Brad because he is definitely today's a big day for him, and he's put in a ton of work in this. So we're super grateful that he's a part of our organizing committee.
You know, it's been 7 years since NCAA tournament was here in Wichita, and of course, you know, it was not supposed to be that way. It was supposed to be a few years ago in 2021. Of course, COVID kind of threw a wrench in all of those plans, but you know, that anticipation from the last 7 years. I mean, I remember the way that everything was in 2018 and how just incredible the atmosphere was, and Wichita showed out in full force. And, you know, it helped that Kansas was here playing, and, you know, that the KU fans were able to come down, you know, here and watch them play. That's not the case this year, but that anticipation, I would imagine, because of what happened in 2021, has just grown so much, especially probably for you guys that are, you know, have been a big part of putting this together.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, 2018, we didn't really know what to expect. We tried to put our best foot forward. I think everyone would agree it just blew the expectations out of the water.
Best site I've ever been to.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, I mean, like I heard you mention it earlier, Jacob. You know, not every site does this. So if you go around, you go visit different cities, different first and second round sites. This does not happen everywhere. I promise you that. You might have a little pop up here or there, but when you walk around the arena today, you're going to see FanFest popping up everywhere, parties going on. Downtown's going to be hopping. So yeah, 2018. We saw what Wichita could do. I think we all knew Wichita was going to get behind it, but to that level, I don't know anyone could have predicted that. He talked about Naftzger Park the way it is now. I mean, it's just perfectly set up for a fan fest type of an event. This place is going to be hopping. 21, we were super excited, ready to go. Hey, let's do it again. You know, it was only 3 years removed. Obviously, COVID kind of had other plans, and we got to welcome the women back in 2022 for the regionals, Sweet 16, Elite 8 games. That was fun. That was really the first time we got to activate Naftzger Park for a fan fest type of an event. But I can only imagine today here in a few hours once the sun comes up. It's a little cold now, but hopefully I've been watching the weather and upper 50s and sun, and the rest of the week it's going to be nice. So I think we're expecting a ton of people. We got a great draw. Unfortunately, of course, we would have loved KU to be here, but I think all things considered, the teams that we have coming to Wichita couldn't ask for a better draw. So I'm really excited to welcome the 8 teams and all their fans to Wichita and show them what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, it was you wanted to get at least Tech or Iowa State. I mean, I think that started there when it wasn't going to be KU. So that was a good start. Houston's the return team. They're our only returner, I believe. They were here last time.
Mm-hmm.
Their fans will come up, and then we talked about it. It is a perfect draw. Now, how much do you know? We asked this question. This will be kind of for fans that are coming down here. Like, I remember in 2018, like walk around beers were passed basically for the event. Is that still? Like, can people basically party from Old Town to the north side of INTRUST still?
I think you have to kind of stay still in your zones. Okay. And maybe, I think it was that way in 2018. Maybe it was a little bit loose in how they
pushed it out a little bit. They put out like barricades.
Yeah, technically, I think they're asking you to kind of stay in the zones. The good thing is they've blocked off streets around the FanFest. I know safety is utmost priority for the police department and the sheriffs. They've done a great job in making sure that everyone is going to be safe while they're here. But the fan zones are pretty big. And I know south of the arena, they have a pretty large footprint of a fan zone. So as far as bringing alcohol back and forth, there's a lot more room down south. And Naftzger Park, they have the whole the zone here that you can drink in. But of course, once you get into the arena, they're gonna want you to buy their stuff. So, but yeah, either way, I think you mentioned it. Whether you have a ticket or not, we want you to come out, visit the restaurants that are around here. Grab a bite to eat, hope the fans do a little bit of shopping while they're here, but certainly enjoy FanFest out here at Naftzger Park.
So obviously, Josh, you've been with Visit Wichita for a number of years now. And, so it's not only the city of Wichita coming out and enjoying the games, it's these fan bases coming into the city, seeing what Wichita has to offer. We were able to do that back in 2018. Of course, you mentioned the women's tournament in 2022. From Visit Wichita's perspective, when you've got these fan bases coming in from essentially all over the country, including, Gonzaga coming in, from halfway across the country, Georgia from the other side, all of that. What is it that you feel like Wichita can show these fan bases when they come to town?
I think sometimes we take ourselves for granted here in Wichita, but we have a lot to offer. Our central location is huge and we go after events, but the Midwestern hospitality, the friendliness, we hear that from every event that we host here in Wichita. When people leave, I can't believe how friendly everybody was. But not only that, I don't think people realize what a big city we really are here. We tell people we're small enough to where when you bring your event to Wichita, you're going to feel the love. You're going to have all the news stations, all the radio stations come out and do live hits. But we're big enough to where we can sell out an arena. There's tons of great restaurants, tons of great attractions. And everybody that we hear when they leave Wichita, I think surprise is a big word. Pleasantly surprised. They're just absolutely blown away by all that Wichita has to offer. And so hopefully you can see when you drive around town, the street pole banners welcoming them. We have balloon arches with big welcome banners at the airport when they arrive. There's banners all over town welcoming fans. There's the 2 trusses on the north and the south side of the arena that people can take pictures in front of. So hopefully people see that, not only the locals, but everyone traveling here from all those different states. They're going to know that they're in Wichita and that they're welcome here. And I think, we have our own citizens to thank for that, just the friendliness and everything as well.
Josh Howell, Visit Wichita, with us here on Sports Daily, getting ready as the sun comes up for the opening round of the NCAA tournament. I always think, too, Josh, and this is what makes your job so cool, like there's no better megaphone for Wichita than events like this, because, listen, I'm an out-of-towner. You guys maybe a little different perspective, but as an out-of-towner, you walk into this and you'll be shocked. So this is what it's all about. And the businesses here have to participate too, right? Like everybody gets on board, and that's who, when you said come down, eat, shop, just make it the place you come watch games, because know how much these places put into being a good host. Yeah. They have to staff up. They do everything. So come down here, watch the games, because it's just like it's basketball central as much in the arena as it is outside the arena.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you nailed it there. So I mentioned Wichita State, INTRUST Bank Arena, Visit Wichita, we're the three main driving forces for the bid and getting the event here. But it would not be a success if it weren't for all the businesses around Wichita, the community. In 2018, we hosted this FanFest, and we started to get word that maybe there were some other FanFests popping up. Businesses were going to do their own FanFest. So we got everyone together and said, hey, let's all meet and let's figure out who's doing what so we don't duplicate efforts. We found out there was 6 or 7 other FanFests going on that we didn't even know about. So this time around, we knew what to expect, and we kind of gathered everyone together. But again, that's not something that was all organic. That was just people that had a passion for Wichita, that knew this event was huge and wanted to show a good time to everyone coming here. And again, we are very lucky to have that mentality from all the businesses and the whole community here in Wichita. They really, truly understand how big this event is. We're going to be on national TV on Thursday and Saturday, and you're going to see Wichita on the court, and the announcers are going to say live from Wichita. You can't put a price tag on that kind of publicity. And so it's just huge for the event, but we couldn't do it without all of our great partners all around, not only downtown, but all around the city of Wichita.
I always tell the story from 2018 that, at one point, I'm down here and I totally lose track of where I am. And I'm from Wichita, and I'm like, I don't know where I am right now. It's so turned around, and probably the adult beverages that I consumed probably contributed to that a little bit. But you're right. I mean, just as far as like everybody coming together and all of these parties popping up left and right, and it's that same way this year. I mean, you can go basically anywhere around the arena, within that radius, and you're going to find something fun to do, whether it's ticketed, whether it's private, whether it's public, free to the public, whatever it is. I mean, there's just going to be so much action around here the next couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it, free. I think almost there might be a few little paid areas, but most of these FanFests are free to the public. And the cool thing is there's really not a lot of like competition as far as it goes. Like everyone's been working together. The sense of community. Again, we had these meetings where we brought everybody together, and everyone just wants this to be great for all the visitors, all the locals. But there's just that sense of community and pride in Wichita. And so, yeah, tons going on. You can watch. If you don't have a ticket, you mentioned it, Tommy, come on out. All the games are going to be here on the video board. There's going to be, beer garden, food trucks, games, you name it. So come on out, whether you have a ticket or not. And if you do have a ticket, come on out early, support it. Go grab a bite to eat somewhere here, either at a food truck or at a local restaurant, and just make the whole day and hopefully a whole weekend out of it.
And again, we're signing hall passes here. Tommy and I'll sign those for you if you need something for your boss.
Play hooky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just put it on a piece of paper. Don't be a fun hater. Signed, Sports Daily. Josh, before we let you go, I do want to ask you, so how does it work with the process of coming back after this year? It all kind of got messed up with the COVID year. I know we got stuck on the end of what was already bid out, right? So now we're here. How does this work moving forward to keep in the rotation?
Yeah, so getting that first bid in 2018 was huge because we got our name out there. We proved what we could do. We blew it out of the water. Brad and his team again did an amazing job hosting. The community got behind it. They saw that. They awarded us the bid in 21. They awarded us the bid in 25. So our goal all along was to get in their main rotation of every 4 to 5 years. We want to be in their rotation of hosting. We hosted the women in 22. So we got in that rotation. This bid cycle ended in 26. So it was 23, 24, 25, and 26 is when we bid on this event back in 2020, if you can believe it or not. 27 and 28 have already been bid out and already been awarded. They told us we submitted an incredible bid. It was just more of a timing issue, like you mentioned. It was a little bit too close to 25. So our goal is now we're going to be looking at 29 and 30 is when the next 2 bid cycles will be awarded. We're hoping that those RFPs will come out sometime this year. They haven't announced it yet, but based on their previous timelines, we think that'll happen sometime this year. Brad and I most likely will go out to Indy for their NCAA bid symposium that they host when the bids come out, meet with everybody again. And then between Wichita State, Visit Wichita, and INTRUST Bank Arena, we'll put our heads together, hopefully put a great bid package, but hopefully we'll blow it out of the park again, to blow it out of the water here in 25 here today and Saturday, and it'll make the case that much easier to win that bid in either 29 or 30.
Before we wrap up and let you go, Josh, let's talk basketball. You're a college basketball junkie. Your bracket, what does it look like? I mean, I know you're a big Arizona fan.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you like?
Back in the day, when Arizona was 1 or 2 seed every year, I would always put Arizona in the championship and win it. That was just what I did. But now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, I don't do that. I know that's not going to happen.
Right.
As Jacob knows, I'm a Cowboys fan as well. I'm a Mavericks fan. It's been a rough couple years for me, but I do have Arizona going to the Sweet 16, losing to Duke. But I'm pretty chalky this year in my bracket. I think I have. I just don't see many people beating those 1 seeds, and if they do, I don't know which one to pick. So I think I have Florida facing Houston maybe in the finals, and I have Florida winning it all. So we'll see.
We're going to talk about that because I do feel like the landscape of college basketball is more ripe for Cinderellas and upsets and all of those things than it ever has been. And here we are, and everybody's doing it too. Everybody's bracket's chalky this year, and it's probably a mistake, which is good, right? You root for chaos. I sit here and wonder, are we going to get a massive upset here? And because of where I'm from, I don't want that to happen to Texas Tech, and then because of who I picked as a champion, I don't want that to happen to Houston. So I'm like, okay, well, I kind of hope we don't get that out of those. No offense to any fans from the other fan bases that are here.
Well, not only an upset, but remember the big shot here that Jordan Poole hit.
Yes, I do.
Houston, and that still is played to this day every year. So if we can get another moment like that here in Wichita, that'd be huge.
Wasn't that if memory serves, the last game of the night?
I believe it was
across the country. It was the last shot of the last game of that day. I believe
it was late.
It was late that night when he hit that shot. I remember that.
Yeah, we were here doing live shots for TV or something, and we may have been cleared by the time we walked in. That was wild. It's going to be a blast, and yes, give Brad Pittman, who I'm glad you brought him up. It's just such a good job that they do. Wichita State is the host city. Shocker fans, if you ever wonder if the Shockers can play here, they cannot because Wichita State is technically the host. But let's give you guys a little patting on the resume to take down to Indianapolis with you to make sure we get back here in a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do that. So,
all right, Josh, go rest up. Big day. Get hydrated. The sun's coming up. I'm already feeling a little warmer. Maybe it's just in my head.
I think it's in your head. I think it's actually getting colder than what it was.
It's going to be great today. Come on out.
It will be. No, the weather will be great. It'll be 60 degrees and sunny, no wind.
There you go.
I mean, that is the perfect start to springtime. We're seeing people walk around. Josh, appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Enjoy the day.
Yep.
Josh Howell, visit Wichita. Man, I love this so much.
It's great.
I think 2018 was my favorite Wichita thing. Been here, it's like, I don't know, 11 or 12 years now. I think that was my favorite thing to like. The Wichita Open is a great show off for the city. But I think 2018 here for that tournament has been my favorite community event. And I honestly I think this year can be better. I think Saturday, with the weather the way it is, especially if KU wins and gets just a bunch of people out to watch a game like that. March Madness, you'll always have people out to watch a game.
Right.
But man, I think this year, as far as the festivities, could even top 2018.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right in that regard because of the fact that we have one under our belt. And we've seen what we can do as a city, as a community. And, Josh talked about it, having the support of the businesses, having the support of all of the different organizations.
It was
that bring
almost
it all
like
together.
It was guerrilla style.
It was,
because
I remember coming down to it and not knowing what to expect, right? Like there were really no expectations other than at that time, Kansas is playing in Wichita. They're going to be here. Let's go watch Kansas play.
Right, yeah.
And then it just blew up from there. Yeah. And so now, even though Kansas isn't here, the party is, and that party is bigger and actually probably more organized and more, large in nature. So it's going to be incredible.
There are a lot more businesses down here now than were down here then, which will make it better too. And again, we'd invite you, just grab a beer at one place, watch a little of a game, walk around, go do another one. Support all these businesses. They put a lot of work into it. Community does. We appreciate everybody's hard work. Wichita State's work to do this. Visit Wichita's work to do this. It's going to be a blast. We are here live at Naftzger Park. There will be games on with us here. We'll be out here having fun. We'll be walking around. Come by, say hi, say what's up. We'll be doing the show here live today and tomorrow, all 4 hours live. Coming up here today, we will bring some guests in. We'll have Tim Fitzgerald. We'll have Brandon and TJ stop by. It's all coming for you up until 11 o'clock tip time. Don't go away. More Sports Daily right after this.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB Overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of... It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Naftzger Park, Coming to you live here on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Castor. Appreciate everybody being here with us. Hey, we're still doing giveaways, even though we're out here live. Let's start with the 35 by 70 Golf Co. giveaway, Tommy. And we'll tell people about this a couple times through the show here. But great local company. Tommy has been, not today, because it's the coldest part of the day right now, but normally great golf gear. And they've got some cold weather gear too, but we want people to check them out. So we're giving away a $120 gift card to 35 by 70 Golf Co. And we're excited to do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're a locally owned family company here in Wichita. Golf apparel, polos, hoodies, hats, golf head covers, a bunch of really cool apparel and golf gear that they have here. And it all invokes this part of the country. We've talked with Josh Howell about what Wichita is all about in this part of the country in our last segment. And that's what 3570 Golf Co. That's what they represent with their golf apparel. All of their designs invoke the heartland, the Midwest, this part of the country. And so we want to give you a chance to win a $120 gift card. And the reason why it's $120 is because with that, you can pick 2 polos, you can pick 2 hoodies, you can get a polo and a hoodie. It's up to you on what you want to pick there if you're the winner of that. But all you have to do is text the keyword golf. That's golf, GOLF, to 20357. That is the number to text that keyword to, golf, if you want your chance to win a $120 gift card to 3570 Golf Co. and check out all of the great apparel that they have.
It is the first day of spring. I'm told Max sent me a message. Max has something for us for the spring. I don't know, Max, if you want to play that now. We can't communicate quite as easy as we normally do. But Max, do you have something for us now, or are you going to surprise us with that at some point in the show?
I played it coming out of the last break.
Oh, we couldn't hear it.
Okay.
We on our video feed, I think it was covered up.
But I'll play it again.
I missed it. Okay, let's hear it. What is it? All right, Max, what do we got here? I'm going to guess Tiny
Tim?
It's got to be something like Monty Python?
Tiny Tim, right?
What is Tiny Tim?
Singing about the voices of spring, not the eruption of a volcano.
What is that, Max?
Three Stooges.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's
fair enough.
You're asking a lot of us. I appreciate that. It makes me feel young here. Boy, it is the first day of spring. I heard it. I saw something funny yesterday. Yesterday was winter for everybody out of town. Yesterday was winter. Today is spring, and tomorrow's summer. So
that's about right.
Yeah, because I think we're getting up to 80 tomorrow. So enjoy it. We are at the coldest part of the day right now. It is going to be nice. I mean, it will be. Saturday is probably, I would say, more like perfect weather for something like this. But I'm 60 degrees and sunny with a light breeze today. That's going to be pretty nice, especially if you were here yesterday. And I mean, let me just apologize to everybody in from out of town listening right now for what you had to withstand yesterday. That was disgusting.
Yeah, it was gross. And I'll tell you right now, it might be chilly, might be cold right now for us doing this show live from Naftzger Park. But had the weather yesterday been going on today, we wouldn't be here. Number one,
yeah, we
wouldn't be doing the show live. And number two, it really would have hampered this entire party out here and the entire experience. You can't control the weather, but at least we know that we can get through probably a couple of hours of pretty cold weather here this morning, as long as it's going to turn into a really nice day and afternoon and evening, and it's going to do that.
Yeah, we'll suffer for you out here. Let's talk a little basketball, Tommy, as we kind of get into things today. Josh, we asked Josh about his bracket, and I am not kidding. I took Houston. I've wanted to take Houston for a long time. I found out you took Houston. Then I found out about 6 other people just in casual conversation. I'm like, well, what did I miss here? I thought I was going to be sort of on an island. Everybody be taking Duke, or Florida looks really good lately, and I've got both of them in my Final Four too. But I can't believe this is the year I've never done that before, never. And I sat the entire year just like, I want to put Tech in there. I might want to put Iowa State in there. And then it's injuries have happened. And here we have this chalky bracket, but basketball's not chalky. Like all of these teams are evened out because of the transfer portal and because of, a bigger distribution of a lot of this talent. And there's almost no way it stays that chalky. It's what everybody sort of envisions. I'm not sure why that's happened this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that some of it you have to look back on kind of the coaching and the coaches of teams that have won national championships historically. You usually don't see up and coming coaches and programs win championships. It's coaches like Coach K and Bill Self and Roy Williams and Jay Wright. Most recently, it's Dan Hurley has solidified himself as one of those coaches at that level. And the reason why I've got Houston winning it is because I think Kelvin Sampson is that guy that is due to be able to add his name to that list. I like Florida. I like that, what they've done this season. They are really, really good. And Todd Golden has done a hell of a job this year coaching that team. I'm not sure that I'm ready yet to put Todd Golden in that category.
Yeah.
I'll put Kelvin Sampson in that category.
I think Kelvin Sampson's as good as there is.
I agree.
As just a coach.
Wholeheartedly. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's why I've got Houston. It comes down to taking a look at
even
the
just
coaching
Houston.
caliber to win the national
I agree. That puts me over the, and they're finally healthy coming into the tournament as they've been one of these top seeds. It's been a while since they've been healthy. But even as much as that, it's like, but why the other chalk, right? Like, why the other chalk? And I don't know what it is. I just keep wondering, like, who is that team going to be? Are we going to see an NC State? Are we going to see the true unexpected? Because if Michigan State or Tennessee or Alabama, some of these twos, or hell, even if Texas Tech. Right, like that's not going to be that surprising. Is there another team out there? Is it UConn?
I think it's I told you before. I think it's BYU. I think that what they've done with Kevin Young, if they can get through this first round,
I love
BYU.
BYU.
I love them to make a run.
They're susceptible though, and I think it's Wisconsin. But is a 3 truly that big a surprise? Probably not. And they got to play each other too. They're two of my favorites to do that. But like UC San Diego, everybody loves UC San Diego. UC San Diego's not going to the Final Four. I mean, I have them to the Sweet 16, but they're not going to the Final Four. I don't think, because everybody can kind of see them coming. They're not surprised. They were favored at one point against Michigan. That's flipped now.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about our bets when it's warmer and I can feel my hands and fingers. When I can look at what I did bet, because I placed all of my first day bets yesterday. I don't know. I don't know who that team is. I don't even know who's in the mix to be it. I just don't have those ups. Like Yale, I think is a team with some experience now. They kind of fit the profile a little bit. I know a lot of people like Montana. Montana's in that crazy region, though, of all these great offenses. Like all the best offenses in the country are all there. Duke, Bama, Wisconsin, BYU. So like Montana, who's that too? Like, I don't know. It's going to happen though. Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen.
And look, I love, Colorado State. I think they're a team that can make a run. I think Nico Medved's a great coach.
I do too. I ended up taking Memphis. Colorado State's favored.
I've got Colorado State going to the Sweet 16. And you know what? Memphis is Memphis, and Penny is Penny. PJ Haggerty is a stud, as we know. Yeah. We know that big time. That PJ Haggerty is a hell of a scorer. But I think that Memphis, it's this type of environment and type of atmosphere where they sometimes stumble.
Yeah,
they don't always perform.
Not sometimes.
They
always
stumble a lot. And I think that it's a favorable matchup for Colorado State. They've got a kid, and God, I'm forgetting his name. But he like their top scorer, Colorado State's top scorer, is phenomenal. So that's why I picked Colorado State to upset Memphis, and I think that they'll make a run. I also like New Mexico as a 10 seed. I think Richard Pitino is a really good coach.
Well, listen, my 7-year-old daughter has them in the Final Four.
I don't know. I don't have them going that far, but I think they'll make a little bit of a run too. So I think that there are some sleeper upset teams out there that can absolutely get into the second weekend.
Yeah, I do too. And it's, like North Carolina's they're not going to be that's not a true Cinderella. No. Xavier last night, Xavier, Texas gave us a good game. That would maybe fit a little bit more of the profile. But we have a lot of games where those higher seeds, like I have Utah State winning a game. I just love it so much. Here's the other thing too. Speaking of betting, that I think makes this year a little unique and different. We obviously didn't have this in 2018. I can't quite wrap my head around the fact that this is going to feel a little like Las Vegas. Like we can, while watching the games and enjoying them and partaking them, just like bet them anytime, like
live.
Just like right now, you know, and that I think that part of it's going to be a little element that at least I'm not quite ready for yet. But as we're just walking around and kind of looking like, oh yeah, let's throw $5 on that game. I think that will be a really cool addition to this year's. Part of the festivities down here is because you have everything. You have the event happening here. You have the ability to watch the games in 1,000 different places, which will be really cool. And then you'll have the ability to just sort of feel out a game as it's happening. I can't wait to see these games here. I don't think we are in upset central. I think the game that everybody has circled is certainly Missouri and Drake.
I can't wait for that game.
Me too. I had a hard time with it. I ended up taking Drake because I think the story is so good, but so is Missouri's.
Yeah.
And I know KU fans hate Missouri, and that's great. I love that rivalry. I don't really care. So I don't have any I don't mind Missouri. And I love that they have some local guys, especially Caleb Grill. His story is fantastic. I know he's going to have a lot of family here. There are a lot of things to get behind. Drake has some local flavor as well. Out of Andover, and their coach is like that one hits my heart. We'll ask Brandon Zinner about this because he covered Ben McCollum for a long time as a Division II coach. But like that hits home for me. I went to a Division II school with a great facilities and program and all that kind of thing. And you always wonder when you're at those places, like, man, can we ever compete and do that? Well, that's essentially what he's done.
Yeah.
Right. He just brought his team up, and here they are. They've had an incredible year.
I talked to a buddy of mine that is pretty dialed into college basketball in general and follows it very, very closely. And I don't have this verified. I don't know this to be fact, but what he told me was that Ben McCollum has been very close as far as a friendship and kind of coaching circle to a couple of guys that are pretty familiar. Grant McCasland, who's now at Texas Tech, and Dusty May, who's now at Michigan.
Okay.
And the three of them sort of came up together. They talk, they share a lot. And, I think it could be pretty easy to perceive Ben McCollum as maybe the least successful out of the three, just because he had been at Division II for so long.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
No.
I mean, that's not like he is absolutely on par with those guys who have done great things at their schools. I mean, both Texas Tech and Michigan are in the tournament. Michigan just won the Big Ten tournament. And now McCollum has been able to show off his coaching chops at Drake. And I mean, I'm sure he loves Drake, and they've done a great job this year making it into the tournament. I think McCollum can go to a big time program and have a ton of success. So I don't know if that's his desire or not.
Yeah, he can.
He can if he wants to. I think that there would, a lot of schools out there would love to have Ben McCollum be their head coach.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. And I've said this for years and years and years, and I've probably said it here. It's just like Chris Kleiman, like those guys that can coach and win championships. Doesn't really matter the level. They can just get it done. I remember back in the day, Grand Valley State was dominant in Division II for a long time. And I was like, Brian Kelly ought to be the next coach of Notre Dame. Because at that time, I was a Notre Dame fan. I was like, why don't they just hire him? Like, he wins everything. And then you get called crazy for saying that. And then all of a sudden he goes to Cincinnati, finds a ton of success wherever else he went. And then he ends up at Notre Dame anyway. And he ended up being one of the best in the business. All right, we'll come back. That's the first hour, the coldest hour. All pointing up from here. We'll be right back. More Sports Daily after this.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say,
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
And welcome back in, everybody, for another hour of Sports Daily, coming to you live until 11 o'clock, right until games start to tip off, and we made it over the horizon, Tommy. It only gets warmer from here now today. I think we're up into above freezing at some point during this hour, and then we get all the way, as we're through the show here, almost to 50 degrees and sunny. So we'll just grin and bear it here. Come say hi. It looks like as the sun has risen with us on this first day of spring, we have people setting up all their stuff out here as we speak. There are all kinds of things being set up at the moment. My colleagues over at 12 News will have a booth over here too. Looks like they got a couple of Papa shots they're going to set up, and then the set where we're doing live news hits all day will be over on the other side of the arena. But we'll be out there. We'll be out here hanging out with you. I know some of our pals here from the Odyssey family are going to be over here. You guys are voicing on the stage. Yeah, you're kind of the MCs of this part of it.
Yeah, so a big shout out to Parks and Rec for the city of Wichita. We have a great relationship with them. Have had a great opportunity to work with them on this event. And so we will be here on the stage at Naftzger Park. You and I are currently on the stage, but we will have folks from all of our Odyssey radio stations throughout the day today, throughout the day tomorrow, throughout the day on Saturday. And I think that's one thing that really hasn't, I'm not sure really been focused on as much, is that tomorrow, even though there aren't games being played here in Wichita, the FanFest here at Naftzger Park will continue. It will go on as well from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Because you've got fan bases from these schools coming in. They're going to be looking for things to do, and there are going to be other games going on all around the country that are going to be shown here on the big screen at Naftzger Park.
Oh, and that's the thing too. Yeah, you can still today you get basketball from 11 a.m. to midnight. You do tomorrow too.
Yeah,
like it's Thursday and Friday. Everybody loves the first 2 days of the tournament, right? There's a reason for that. Thursday and Friday are always best. So yeah, another great place tomorrow to come and watch. And it's here we go. We're ready to show off this city to everybody, and we're happy to do it. We're excited to do it. We're at Tim Fitzgerald coming up later this hour. We'll get Brandon and TJ in at some point here over the next couple of hours to digest everything that they took in yesterday. Of course, there are local angles all over the place in this tournament. You have what we mentioned with Drake and Mizzou, the local flavors there. You've got Texas Tech with two assistant coaches with ties to Wichita. Luke Barnwell, who's from Wichita, played at Newman, and then Brower, who played at Wichita State. Both of those guys are top-level assistants. They're both here with Texas Tech. Kelvin Sampson's obviously very familiar with this area from when Houston was in the American Athletic Conference.
I'm pretty sure I read, by the way, that Matt Brower just accepted his first head coaching job.
I didn't see that.
I don't know if I don't know if he's with Grant McCaslin. Stephen F. Austin, I think.
That's a good job.
I believe.
I didn't see that.
I'd have to confirm that and double check that, but I'm pretty sure he could still be here.
Oh yeah. They'll finish it up. That's become an interesting thing, and it happens all the time. Did Dusty May take the Michigan job while he finished last year in the tournament?
I think they were out by the time he accepted the job, I believe.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you got to have those conversations, especially for assistants. So that's really cool. I'm
verifying that as we speak.
I didn't see that, but you've got those. SIU Edwardsville has a coach that has spent some time here. Wichita Northwest. I saw. They're all over the place. I don't think we have any local ties to Gonzaga or Georgia. That would be the only ones. Otherwise, we're pretty much connected through the other 6 teams.
You ever try to get something done on your phone when you're wearing gloves?
Yeah. these gloves are supposed to have the little things on the fingers that it doesn't work.
Yeah, Stephen F. Austin.
That's awesome.
Yep,
I did
Matt
not
Brower's
see
the
that.
new head coach at Stephen F. Austin.
That's really, really, really cool. Good for him. Good for that program. I'm telling you, it is taken off, and I've always said that to people. It's the perfect school fan base and location to just fully embrace and take off with college basketball. They've always done it with women's college basketball back to the Cheryl Swoops days. I'm so happy that the men did it. I'm so happy after Chris Beard stabbed them in the back that Casland ended up there, and they're still awesome. It's been really cool, and their facilities now match anybody's.
I'm trying to think back with Stephen F. Austin. Wasn't Brad Underwood the coach there?
He was there,
a minute at least.
I
he
think
took
he
him
went
to the tournament, right?
Straight there
to Oklahoma State,
Oklahoma
right?
State,
and then to Illinois.
And then to Illinois, yeah. And he was there every year. Like, it was clockwork. You take Stephen F. Austin to win games in the tournament. I have Illinois winning a game in the tournament. There's a 6 seed I have winning a couple games. But yeah, it's basketball season, and we're excited for it. And I'm excited for the teams we have here. I think as you look at, teams that could make a run, why not Gonzaga, right? Kind of like Kansas, team that started highly touted and fell a little bit and probably isn't where they're normally, but still we know very dangerous with the Hall of Fame coach. We'll talk Kansas in our next segment and just really like has much changed. What do we want to see from them in their opener 6:00 today, as we hear from Bill Self yesterday, who had really interesting things, I think, to say about the state of college basketball and being a team that nobody's talking about. I forget the phrase he used with Kansas, but sneak up on people, I think is what he said, which is, of course, not going to happen. But you might as well try to use it if you can get it. So we'll have all that. We'll have K-State talk with Tim Fitzgerald. We'll talk a little football here today as well. The Chiefs making a roster move yesterday, add a little depth on the defensive line. They just keep finding money somewhere. I don't know how they're doing that, but they are. And we're just going to have some fun. We got the dogs out here looking in Naftzger.
Starting to get a little bit busier, people setting up, and the sun is out now, which is good. Hopefully that will shoot temperatures, upward pretty quickly. For me, we were talking about it, during the break. I'm pretty good other than my fingers and my toes. My fingers and my toes are freezing right now, but everything else is basically okay.
Yeah, look, this isn't my cup of tea weather. I'm the same way. My toes are cold. I go into turtle mode, as the people on the video stream can see. My shoulders touch my ears, basically.
Well, and you mentioned it to me, like you can't wear a beanie like I'm wearing a beanie right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Because you got to take care of that beautiful head of hair.
TV hair, baby. Yeah, we got 2 live shots in a little bit. I can't. I've got I brought up layers, to get a layer, because later it's gonna be. I don't want to say it's gonna be hot. It's only gonna be 60 degrees, but it'll be with the sun shining. It'll be, you might sweat a little bit.
It'll be good.
Real nice.
It'll be good. I've got the thermal pants on right now. I've even got thermal socks, but the socks really aren't doing their job. My gloves are worthless right now. They're really not doing a whole lot for me. Even though these gloves are called glacier gloves, you would think that they would be a lot warmer than what they actually are, and they're not. I've also got the snot bubbles going on.
Yeah.
Too.
Sorry for the sniffles, everybody. Hey, the cold weather, I think, I don't want to jinx it here, but these allergies I've been dealing with all week.
Well, that'll just push it away.
Kick that can down the road.
It's a trade-off. You got to pick one or the other. Either terrible allergies.
God, I don't know.
Freezing cold.
I don't know which one of those I would take. And listen, we're a couple sissies. I know that, but it was technically below freezing. I think it still is by a degree or so. I'm glad.
31 degrees.
I never get up as early as I get up to do the show. It's almost never earlier than my wife gets up, whether she's going to the gym or going to work there at HTO. But I'm very glad she didn't see how many layers that I was going to get into today, because I would never hear the end of it. I don't understand. Why do I get everybody gives me? I got earmuffs down here. Why is it such a pull of the man card to layer up? Are you?
I really thought that you were gonna look like the kid from A Christmas Story. I thought you was gonna be like, I can't put my arms down. I thought that's.
I'm not far off. I got long johns on. I'm 4 layers deep on this jacket, gloves, the fuzzy socks, and I'm still cold. It's definitely interesting. This has been a fun weather experience. It was dark. It is colder now than it was when we started this show.
You're right.
And it will quickly get warm now because the sun's up, which I'm really looking forward to. But that was I don't think I was quite ready for that, even though I looked and studied and dreaded the weather for the last 3 days. All right, did we get any warmer on the forecast? All right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk Kansas. They play at 6-ish tonight. We're excited. We got them on KWCH. We're excited about that. But here it is. I don't know that there will be first couple of games like this. We don't get this sort of luck. If you're a college basketball fan, regardless if you're a KU, but to get Self and Cal and then one of them and probably Patino in the first 2 rounds, that is wild stuff. That
fantastic. It's great. And the fact that, and Calipari talked about this yesterday, that he feels like he's back to his roots as an underdog.
Oh, God.
And just like hearing this stuff and Bill Self talking about
trying to do it too.
That whole thing. Like, it's so much fun. I'm here for it. I love it.
I do too. I really appreciate both of those guys and what they've been able to do and have done and how much they are pro player. I don't know how much Patino is pro player. Patino's just really good at what he does. But I love that those two guys are sticking with it. And I'll tell you what I mean by that, because some of the stuff Bill Self talked about yesterday backs up what I've been saying for a long time. When people, as KU struggled, wondered, like, is he's got to be sick? I'm like, I don't think he is. I think he's having just as much fun now as he ever has. And I think that he and Cal have always embraced a lot of what's happening now with the changes in college basketball in different ways, but they've never shied away from it. And so I think it's cool they're matching up. We'll talk about that next. A lot to go here for the next 2 hours and change. We'll be back. More Sports Daily right after this.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of... It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Everybody to Sports Daily. We are so glad to be here with you at Naftzger Park. Sun's coming up. It's got that feel, Tommy. It's got that feel. Yes, I can still feel my fingers and toes, but It does have that feel. As soon as the sun came up, I'm looking right now. We got a booze truck. We got a food truck. We got another sort of like outside bar I'm looking at over there. Parks and Rec are here. We appreciate their support and letting us be out here too. People are having breakfast right now over at one of my favorite places to get breakfast, Homegrown. We've got some patios as I look behind us there, getting set up. The lights are on. The arena's kind of lit up a little bit. This is going to be a blast, and we are just so dadgum excited that this is here. We've been waiting a long time for it. We know the community's been waiting a long time for it. I know there's a lot of people. Everybody always plays hooky on the Thursday of the NCAA tournament. Do it. Just play hooky. We'll sign your notes. We'll just whatever. Just write it down. We'll sign your notes. Yeah.
We'll have your boss call us. If you need an excuse to get out. Yeah, we'd be happy to talk to him. Tell him how important it is to be down here.
I'm a Catholic kid growing up. I know guilt trips. I know how that works. So I can help you with that. We'll make your boss feel bad. Come down, hang out, have a good time. I can't wait to walk around, see everybody, say what's up. We'll be down here live from Odyssey for the radio here. We're here live on the show until 11, but collectively here until 10 p.m. tonight. We've got a 12 News crew. Of course, we appreciate live streaming right now on 12 News Plus. We've got that set up over there. A lot of the colleagues will be out and about here. We'll talk to Brandon and TJ here in just a little bit, but it's fun. It's all hands on deck. It's fun to come down and work this kind of stuff. I know there's a lot of people doing that. So we're enjoying it. And then we'll have basketball. We'll have basketball at 11. And then we'll have basketball here in Wichita at 1 o'clock. So if you're going to the games, have fun. There'll be, I think we'll get at least 2, if not 3 really good games that are highly competitive. And we'll see how that goes into those fan bases that are here driving around. Maybe you're driving down here and you're channel surfing and you're here with us. We appreciate you being here in Wichita. We hope you have a great time. All right, let's talk a little hoops, Tommy. Bill Self yesterday out in Rhode Island with John Calipari and Rick Pitino. I'm sure the Rhode Island, the Providence region is happy right now as they got a bunch of fan bases that are going to travel like crazy. But we sit here and we look at it, and it's just you've got these Hall of Fame coaches, and yeah, Arkansas is a 10 seed, and yeah, Kansas is a 7 seed, and we all know that those teams are capable of beating anybody at any point with the talent that they have and the players that they have, and it looks like Arkansas is going to be healthy. But like, it's amazing to me that even as those two guys have, in relative terms, right, struggled this year, their teams have, in relative terms, struggled, that you've got them there. And I think they're and they have been this way for a long time. These are two of the coaches, along with probably Tom Izzo, Mark Few, a handful of the others, because some of the coaches didn't like this, clearly, and that's okay, right? Some of them didn't like the new era of college basketball, and I don't think it's ever because players are being compensated. I think all the coaches appreciate that, but just the entire package, right? The chaos of it. But as Bill Self put it yesterday, maybe it was time for change, right? People don't like that it's not the way it used to be, but it kind of like one of those, maybe we ought to look in the mirror and realize it shouldn't have been the way it used to be to begin with. I've always appreciated that about him. He's never been naive to this stuff. He's been a big advocate to make some of the changes that need to happen. And even as the teams have struggled, and even as it hasn't been wholly successful out of the portal for Kansas, although I can test that a little bit. Remy Martin helped them win a national championship as a prize portal piece. They're sticking with it, and they seem to be enjoying themselves. I don't think Bill Self. I think he's fine. I don't think he's thinking about anything other than basketball and next year and how to make this team better, and this year and how to win tournament games. And I don't think there's any part of this he doesn't enjoy still.
You know, there are coaches that have resisted this new era of college basketball. They've been very vocal about it. And a couple of things have happened. They've either kind of had to get on board or they've left the sport entirely. And, you know, you think of some legends that, you know, probably felt like they didn't want to be in this new era of college basketball, whether we're talking about Coach K or Roy Williams, maybe even Jay Wright to an extent.
Yeah, and to be fair, those guys are all old.
Totally. You know, and I think that they probably felt like it was time for them to move on, and they didn't really want to, and I don't blame them, really want to dive in and invest in the new era of college basketball. So that's been one subset of coaches. But then you've got, you know, other coaches that have really been like, look, it's time to make a change. It's time to embrace the way that things are moving towards. And, you know, I think that people don't generally give a whole lot of grace and a whole lot of patience for the fact that we're still in a transitional time.
Oh, yeah.
In the sport, and it hasn't fully settled. You know, that there are still changes that are happening all the time in the way that NIL is distributed out and what that looks like. I mean, there are court cases going on all the time. Supreme Court, you know, is hearing different things about NIL and all of that. And so just as far as the general landscape is concerned in college basketball, it's still changing, and it's still I think everybody's trying to figure out the way that it's all going to ultimately land. And Bill Self is not immune to that, even though he now is basically the elder statesman in college basketball. And even though he's been an advocate for all of it, he hasn't been perfect in navigating the transfer portal.
Sure.
Hasn't been perfect in navigating NIL.
He's been really
and all
good
of
at
it.
it.
He's been good at it, but he hasn't been perfect, and nobody really has. But I think that he at least has been willing to embrace it, you know, more so than some of the other coaches out there.
And he did say yesterday that he thinks, and I've thought this for a long time, it'll probably look a lot different in 2 or 3 years. And I agree with that. And I think for fans, fans will like it more. I don't think the players will lose anything. I think there'll just be more organization to it, which it obviously needs, right? Like, it obviously needs it. But coaches are moving around all the time. I made the joke yesterday. I think it was Jay Billis when DeVries went to Indiana while he was clearly still coaching West Virginia. Like, oh, the coaches' portal's always open, and it is. And I've said that forever. Like, you can't, on one hand, get mad at players, but on the other, always just be okay with coaches doing buyouts or whatever. And I think the ultimate end game is to just get players to the same level of professional responsibility as the coaches. And if you want to leave, you're going to have a buyout. Or if you want to leave, you're not getting fully compensated. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, that's where it needs to be.
Until we get to a point to where there are actually contracts with terms of the contract.
The only thing I can think of.
With buyouts, with, you know, that sort of thing. And, you know, it could very well end up where if there is a school that desperately wants a player that is under contract with another school, the school can pay the buyout if they want to, you know, like,
sure.
Because that's the way that it is with coaches too. It's not like a lot of times, I mean, I know it happens occasionally, but a lot of times when a coach wants to go to another school and a school really wants the coach, that school pays the school that the coach is leaving.
That's right.
And pays that buyout and takes care of it. And so, you know, it wouldn't necessarily have to come out of the player's pocket, but I think you need to have some kind of protection, some kind of guardrails in place. And I think that's where we're headed. And I don't exactly know the path to get there and what that's going to look like over the next few years. But I do think that's where things will land.
I do too, because it's the only thing that I can make sense of logically that will work. I think about this stuff all the time. And people that listen to this show for years and years, we talk about this a lot because we're fascinated by it. We're not resistant to it. I've been an advocate for player compensation for as long as I've been doing this for a living. Never made sense to me. It's simple. It's easy. The transfer portal is the chaos part. It's not the NIL part. It's the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? Well, the NIL almost with schools taking over, it kind of makes it easier, right? Like it just now, okay, like if everything's front facing and we all know that everybody's just compensating, great, then just go under contract. And it doesn't take anything away from a scholarship. Make the financial component of a scholarship a part of the contract, right? You lose all that. Nothing changes. It just protects the schools from losing players.
Make the marketing dollars that the players receive for their name, image, and likeness it's part of the contract.
It is tied to you working for the university that you're a part of. And it can be, it can be regulated by conference, I think is probably the most logical way to do that, right? Conferences operate in a certain way. I don't know that the NCAA is going to be capable of it because of the legal aspects of it and how many different places they operate, right? And different laws are in place in different places. And, you're not going to get the federal government to agree on anything, I don't think. So that part gets a little more challenging too. But you just have to get there. And there's success in it. And like, for Bill Self, like he's been really good at getting portal players. I mean, they get top portal players every year. Are they always the right fit? No, and they're not going to be either. What Kansas did for a decade and a half is almost impossible to imagine being repeated at any point. UConn was an 8 seed. UConn barely made the tournament this year.
Yeah,
that's your back-to-back champion,
right?
Like, it's unlikely. Who's been UConn? So UConn's won the last two. I mean, I'm trying to think of who've been the most consistent of the modern era of what would it be? The last 4 years, probably 5, maybe.
I mean, UConn, you can point at, I think
you can point to UConn on a 2-year stretch. Alabama's been really consistently good in it. Kansas, I think, has been as relevant. Not again, like the days of them being a 1 seed every single year, I think are impossible to imagine now because there's too much roster turnover. But they've been okay. Gonzaga's been fine.
Michigan State is always going to be in the tournament. They've got the second longest streak behind Kansas.
They've been okay. But from the top end,
Duke has been a team that we've seen consistency kind of continue even after Coach K and the John Shire transition.
Tennessee, I wanted to say Baylor, but not even Baylor. Tech has been very consistent and will be too, by the way, I think. So look, but again, and this is back to the conversation we had in the first hour. Like, it's hard for me to imagine the chalkiness of what we've seen for 20 years, 25, 30 years, even in college basketball, where it's the same handful of teams as number 1s and number 2s every year. I just think the likelihood of that is low. I mean, you've got Auburn and Florida as 1s this year. I don't think anybody saw that coming. We saw it coming with Houston because we knew they were going to be really good.
I think people knew that Auburn was going to be. I mean, Auburn has been on the ascent, the last couple of years.
Done an incredible
He's done
job
a really good job there, but I don't think anybody saw Florida being a team. Remember when Florida played Wichita State earlier this season?
They were like number 19, and we were like, they might be pretty good.
And then they just absolutely blew the Shockers out of the water. And it, at the time, you're like, okay, is this more about Florida or more about Wichita State? And I think now you look at it, it was more about Florida.
Yeah,
it was absolutely.
They hadn't even hit their stride.
Yeah, totally.
Either. Like they are the hottest team coming into this tournament. But yeah, it'll be. But again, the old guys embracing it, because we know the young guys are going to embrace it and be good at it, right? There's another generation. Like if you don't want to do it, fine, get out of the way because somebody will. Seeing those old guys, and I don't know how much I know Calipari enjoys it because he's always been pro player. But like just seeing them, what are you looking to us for excuses? Like, you think we're going to sit up here and make excuses? Like, come on. Like, no.
And it's to exactly your point. It's either adapt or die. Adapt or get out of the way.
Somebody will do it.
I don't fault guys like Krzyzewski and Williams and Boeheim and others like that have said, look, if it's adapt or get out of the way, we're just going to get out of the way.
Well, yeah, because you've done things a certain way, and at some point, like we all
I don't fault them for that at all.
I don't either.
I get it. And I'm like, look, if it were me too, and I've won national championships and I'm in my 70s and the landscape is changing to a point to where my job is significantly different than what it was, and the way that I operate, I have to operate it differently. Yeah, maybe it's time for me to ride off into the sunset. I don't begrudge them at all for that.
How much energy do you have to learn how to relearn how to do something? And something else to Bill Self's point yesterday was like, I think at the core of it, the most in common trait of coaches is that we like to teach. And I think that's his big thing, is like, that's the one thing, like, you don't get to have guys as long to teach them. And that part's hard. And look, I think that we have seen that translate onto the court for Bill Self. Certainly young guys have never really, he's always had a freshman, right? But it's always a freshman mixed in with a bunch of old guys. Well, I don't know how much young guys are going to be able to play their way through Flory Badunga's been in and out of the doghouse a little bit. Whether he comes back, it's going to be hard, and it's going to have to change a little bit. But at the same time, you've got to bring in essentially, freshmen to your ways of doing things, even if they're older players. And some guys will look at that and they'll thrive in it, like Hunter Dickinson has. And you say what you want about Hunter Dickinson. I've been hard on him this year. He came into a new program. He was effective right away and has been effective. It hasn't been the right fit, I don't think, totally, but he's been effective.
He's been a really good, consistent individual performer for this team. It hasn't translated to the number of wins over the last 2 seasons that I think, everybody associated with Kansas would expect or desire from the Jayhawks. But one of the things, to your point about the development of players, and that's something that Bill Self has always excelled at, is that you think of guys that have taken major leaps forward, major steps forward from their first year to second year in the program, second year to third year to fourth year, guys like Ochai Agbaji and guys like Jalen Wilson, where you saw clear improvement from one year to the next. I don't know how realistic, honestly, that is in just the landscape of college basketball in general moving forward. Unless you have guardrails in place where players are like, look, it's going to end up costing me money if I leave this program. So I'm going to have to be pretty deliberate on if I want to make a change or not.
Kansas is not the best example because Kansas has been able to retain players in this era. They retained Dickinson, they retained Adams, they retained DeJuan Harris for a long time. Like, they retain players. So they're not the best example.
Yeah.
There are other teams are harder at it. Kansas, and I've said it a million, they're just not the right fit. You put Hunter Dickinson on a team that can shoot the three. That's Kansas's problem, is they just don't complement each other very well. But they're, we've seen, again, I think they are being undersold a little bit, Tommy. They have big time wins. They have mind-numbing losses. They got a lot of big wins this year too. And it's all neutral court from here on out. It's players versus players. They have the experience. I don't know if they're going to be able to shoot enough. It's hard to say. It's hard to imagine them being able to shoot enough, but they can in one game, like they can in one game when they need it, get some shots. I've got them to the Sweet 16. I don't know. It's a big ask, but I think all things considered, Sweet 16, you calling that a win this year? For the preseason number one?
Absolutely. I think it is. Maybe not from all the way back at the beginning of the season when they were preseason number one, but from the bottom of the valley where they were before, when they were, it was just incomprehensible, the kind of basketball that they were playing, and the losses were piling up. If they can get 1 or 2 wins in the NCAA tournament, I would count that as a win overall for this team.
I always count the Sweet 16 for any team, no matter where they're ranked, almost a win. I will tell you, like the Doak and Dot KU team, which I think was the best I've seen that would have not been satisfying, and that's probably the only time I would say that. For any program, I think in this tournament, in this format, as crazy as it is, if you make the Sweet 16, you've had a successful year. I don't care what your preseason standing is. If Auburn makes the Sweet 16 and gets bounced, I'm not going to say it was a disappointing season for them. All right, we'll come back. We'll get Tim Fitzgerald connected here. We'll talk a little K-State when we come back. Don't go away. More Sports Daily right after this.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
you so much. That is very sweet. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everybody. I mentioned my favorite breakfast place, Homegrown. They just came over and gave us coffee and Pop-Tarts.
That's amazing.
I appreciate that a great deal. Thank you guys very much. It is. It's one of the best places to get breakfast
I love
in the world.
It's so good.
So we're going to be having Pop-Tarts right now. We welcome in Tim Fitzgerald as he gets jealous of our Pop-Tarts and coffee. It's cold, Fitz. You look warm.
Of tarts, I'm on.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
Oh.
And now our K-State insider, Tim Fitzgerald.
So bad.
And Daphne.
That's dude.
Daphne the dog sitting next to Fitz. So they gave me buttons, Tim. So we've got the ability to monitor your behavior here. We have buttons here. We're having fun. Out of town. 4 hours live today, Fitz. How's it up in Manhattan?
It's good. They called you Daphne, dude. I apologize.
Oh, that's dude. That's not Daphne.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's back to normal, I think, after whatever that was yesterday.
Yeah, we're in the same. I mean, it's cold here, but it's going to be beautiful. I know you love this region, and you got to be excited for what we've got going down here. I'm telling you, Fitz, you got to get down here. Like we're in the middle of we're just to the other side of the arena, and you've got a bar truck and food trucks and an outdoor bar here, and then you've got behind the arena all of these outdoor. There's a pizza bus behind me. I don't even know what that is, but I'm excited to find out. Like, it is incredible.
Outdoor bar and a pizza
outdoor
bus?
bar. I'm looking right at
bar.
it. Yeah, I'm looking right at it. And you can walk around with them. So come down. You should come down Saturday. We got good Big 12 love here this year. I want to ask you about the Big 12 teams. I want to ask you about your bracket, but let's start with K-State. In no postseason for the Cats. What is the immediate fallout for this group? Who's coming back? Who's not coming back? Do we have any indication of any of that yet?
No, we don't. Jerome Tang told his guys take a week, and let's see how it goes. So they're into that process, I guess. I mean, the transfer portal doesn't open until Monday. And so I kind of laugh when people say this guy's in the portal.
Quote unquote.
Open, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, and you're not supposed to contact anyone, and people are releasing lists of 10 schools. It's absurd. But we don't know right now. We don't know who will be back, who can come back. And they want to retain more than they have. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Honestly, after the frustrations of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if some guys transfer out that we didn't expect it, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out as Jerome Tang and his staff try to retool this roster for next season and do it in a more sustainable way in terms of being long-term.
Probably more of a philosophical question here, Fitz, because we don't know personnel, we don't know changes, but if you had to rank the priorities of what this team needs next season, maybe not even necessarily about from a skill set personnel type thing, but like, is it a leadership thing? Is it more of a vocal leader in the locker room? Is it what are some of the things that you think Jerome Tang should be looking for as he crafts a roster?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. You need to go find guys who are invested in in playing basketball for more than just a dollar amount. Not that I'm saying that's what that's what some of the guys on the roster did, but it appeared to be that way. And I think really trying to manage the locker room as much as putting together a cohesive roster is really what has devastated this team. It took a while for this group to gel, and I don't think they ever had the right parts as a team. They were just lacking something. But they're going to have to go find a lead scorer, a guy that can light it up. And I don't know how you replace the energy and effectiveness of David Gasson, but you got to replace some of that with someone in the post that can get it done.
I mean, you got to replace a lot of production in a lot of places, honestly. Like, people can say what they want about Coleman Hawkins. That's a lot of production that has to be replaced. Not necessarily in scoring, but in other places. And so a big part of that we know is having the funds and the ability to do it what is the appetite for that among the donors, the fan base, the NIL base? Like, is everybody still fired up and, on board with K-State hoops enough to create the abilities, I guess, for the coaching staff to go get who they need?
As far as we know, NIL's not really public, but we know that some of the major donors are still on board and ready to go. I imagine they've been asked to, revisit how they go about building the roster and what they do, but I think the support's still there, which honestly surprises me a little bit, but that's good. I think someone said, that one of the donors said, well, I'm not going to give up on K-State basketball. So if you've got the money and the appetite to go through this process, it's pretty incredible as a fan. I mean, just when having that kind of affection for your university, when you're that level of donors, it's amazing to me, actually. So we'll see if they throw around money like they did last year. I'll say this, guys. Well, here's one of the things they've got to get rid of. They've got to find a way to shake the image of being the team you always want to include on your list to drive up the price. They found themselves getting on players' lists that maybe they weren't going to be the choice, but boy, everyone knew K-State would pay if they wanted them, and it kind of drove the choice up. So they got to get through that.
One of the teams that is going to be playing over our shoulder here later today is Houston, and Jerome Tang talked about Kelvin Sampson and about the way that Sampson has built his roster and had the tremendous amount of success with that program in the Big 12, and how he, kind of wants to emulate what Kelvin Sampson has done at Houston. That's a great goal to have, because Sampson is the top of the class as far as that is concerned, and retention and building a program. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but what makes Houston great is not just the roster. They're so tightly coached. I don't know if that's the right. There's not much room for error with Houston. If you're not doing it right, you're not playing. Yeah. And the discipline level that they exude, particularly on the defensive end of the floor, is remarkable. And that's the great. Aside from the roster, I mean, getting a group of guys in this era to defend at the level they do with the consistency they do is remarkable. And you got to find the right kids. That's again, Kelvin Sampson isn't just out there taking guys based on talent. He's taking guys based on, can they do this for me? Can they flourish under me? And I think that's a really important step here. But just get back to the basis of how Baylor was built. I think would be good for Jerome Tang. Go find those athletes. Out athlete people, get big springy guys and mix in a couple scores and go, because that's what they built their program on, and it led them to a national title. So that seems like a pretty good road to follow.
And they had, the path was they showed us for a time that it was a good fit. They just couldn't find it consistently. I think to some of the earlier points. You brought up Houston. Are they your pick to win it? Us too. Yep. It's consistency. It's consistency and the buy-in and all of those things. The other Big 12 team here is Tech, who, man, I wish they were fully healthy. But Tech, I think, is another team that can make a run in this thing. Could you believe JT Toppin, by the way, wasn't a first-team All-American? I couldn't. But the Big 12 is well represented in this tournament. I don't know if it's the number of teams that we thought, but I think we're going to have teams out of that league that every single one of them that made it is capable of making it to the Sweet 16.
I agree. And you look at how the Big 12 fell in this bracket, what they have. There's 5 really winnable games. I mean, Houston should win. Tech should win. Iowa State, BYU. These games are ones they win. The 2 in the middle of the bracket, I did a daily delivery on this, are huge for the Big 12, because Kansas is a 7 and Arkansas is a 10. Mississippi State's an 8. And
Baylor's 9.
Baylor. Those games aren't just in the middle of the bracket. They're against the SEC.
That's true.
And it's an opportunity to maybe deflate some of that SEC talk. But I got to be honest, and this isn't I'm a K-State guy taking a shot. I don't have a good feeling about KU. I don't like where they're at. They seem to show some signs of life at the end, but they're going to go up against an athletic team in Arkansas. We'll see how it pans out, but those games are huge for the Big 12. But I think this conference needs to have a good tournament. They didn't last year when they were known as the conference, and they blew that up by not performing well. So now they have an opportunity to maybe turn the tables on the SEC. I'll say this: I'm a firm believer that West Virginia should have been in the tournament, but I also I don't. What's happened to West Virginia over the last week is just unfathomable.
Yeah,
and there's been a lot of people that have compared it to the Huggins situation. K-State thought they were in the tournament; they didn't get in. They should have been in that year, but they got bumped out. And then the coach ups and leaves, ironically, for West Virginia. But now we're hearing rumors of talks were going on during the season. This thing's ugly. And
of course they were going on during the season.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get the Indiana job 2 days after the season ends without talking during the season. And that doesn't happen.
And I think there's going to be some legal things going on here with tampering and all that stuff. I feel awful for West Virginia. They don't deserve that. That's a great fan base.
It's been a bad week for them. I'll tell you, my sleeper team, I'm shouting it from the mountaintops. Sleeper team in the Big 12 is BYU.
Yeah.
If they can get through VCU in the first round, I think they've got a great path. In fact, I've got them in the Final Four if they can get through that first round. That's been such a breath of fresh air, that team this season in this conference. I think they can represent the conference really well.
Well, we've got, if you look at the bracket, BYU and Iowa State have really good paths.
I wish they could have flip-flopped where they are, though.
I agree.
I wish BYU would have been in a region where they're playing a bunch of good defenses, and Iowa State would have been in the region where there's all. I wish they could have flip-flopped because BYU's got all of these other great offenses up against them.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. But yeah, they've got some great paths, and of course, I think Houston is a great path. I just think the way they play is hard to beat. And I would love to see Kelvin Sampson get a national title at Houston. For whatever, I've got a great. It's funny how as you age, your image kind of reforms. I don't know that Kelvin Sampson was seen as an old wise coach at any point until now, because he was known for NCAA violations that now are no big deal. So to see him do it is really refreshing and really good for the conference and good for college basketball.
And they're wagging. They're not hurt for the first time. They don't have any injuries, right? Like that. Every year they come in and they're missing key players. Not this year. Like this is a good year for them. But I'm chalky in my bracket. I have the ones in. I can't believe it. I hate it. I'm ashamed of myself. But that's just the way it laid out. Who's your Final Four?
Boy, I can't remember off the top of my head. But it did get pretty chalky. It's not only is the SEC got too many teams in, they're overseeded in my opinion. And it's made their path much easier. So
maybe
you end up, if you're a 1 seed, you're not really getting challenged till the Sweet 16. Maybe the 8 or 9 get you, but not typically. So it's going to be an interesting tournament. But I actually had problems, and maybe I'm a big homer. Maybe I'm just hugely biased. I had problems not putting in 2 Big 12 teams. I kept going back and looking like, this guy can't do this. And there they were. There was always
Tech and Iowa. Tommy likes BYU. Tech
Yeah.
Iowa State have the pedigree to do it if they're healthy enough. All right, Fitz, we appreciate it. Come down, party in Wichita. We'll buy you a beer.
And dude was outstanding in this segment. You got it, man.
Yep, he was perfect. All right, we'll be right back. More Sports Daily, third hour coming your way next.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Is the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of... It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is still in search of a new contract as he heads into the final year of his rookie deal. However, NFL Network's Jane Slater reports the Cowboys and Parsons have yet to begin any meaningful talks. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It's hour number 3 live down here at Naftzger Park, just outside INTRUST Bank Arena, counting down the time to tip off basketball. It's 9 o'clock now. We're 2 hours from games tipping off nationally. We're about 4 hours from games tipping off at INTRUST Bank Arena. Houston's up first. We are set up here on the stage. We'll be out here all day. I'll be out here doing this. I'll be over with the 12 News crew. I can see their booth. We've got a DJ set up. Our guy Zeb's got his turntables. Here's what I would tell you to do. Start thinking of the most obscure songs you can now, and do me a favor. Just walk up and please, just give Zeb an obscene amount of requests for the craziest, most, obscure music that nobody's ever heard of, and see if you can get.
I know he loves that. He loves it when people, give random requests like that.
Every DJ does.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's bad requests. I just think there's good requests at the wrong time.
Well, hey. You do such a good job. You have this nice selection. I want you to stop everything you're doing and do what I want you to do, and play, Freebird.
Well, I think there are some bad requests. Like if I came up to you and I was like, "Hey, can you play the hamster dance?" You would probably not be okay with me requesting the hamster dance.
But like I said, I
you
think
play
there's always great requests. Every request is good. I just don't think every request is good all the time. So maybe the hamster dance is good at a middle school dance.
Okay.
Maybe Freebird is good at a school reunion.
You play the Macarena for me if I request that?
Now, the Macarena is actually
only if you do it center stage.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes. So Zeb will be out here with the DJ booth. It's going to be a blast. We do have. Listen to that, Max. I knew I'd get Max excited when I
taken my job.
Hold on,
he's taking my job.
I knew it. And we're just welcoming it in here. Freebird's the first one I could think of.
Well, there's much worse than the hamster dance and Freebird.
Oh yeah, sure. Do us that favor. Come up here and mess with Zeb a little bit. Give him all of your requests. But it'll be fun. So you've got your turntables up here. You've got the whole DJ setup.
We got massive subwoofers, massive speakers here on stage. Thanks to Odyssey and Pizza Hut and Taco Bell for having us on the stage out here. And we're going to be partying 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And Odyssey is going to be doing the groove on the stage. You guys are live every morning, tomorrow morning as well. Yep. And it's going to be a great party downtown.
You've had a lot of, time to work with the City of Wichita Parks and Rec and the team down there, really putting all of this together and the activations with the FanFest and everything. From our perspective, obviously you're with us with Odyssey and part of our family and everything, but it's been so great to have that partnership with Parks and Rec.
Oh, absolutely. The City of Wichita Parks and Rec, Kay Sears out here and Reggie as well. The people at City of Wichita are amazing. They want to do fun things. They want this whole park and space to be active. especially with it being the first time that the park is doing a tournament like this.
And that's the so if you're out here in 2018, which was just incredible, now you basically have that with another block, another city block to work with. And I know the parties on the other side are great too, and those folks are doing everything they can. But I'm just looking around here. We've got Shaken and Stirred, which is the drink trucks. I see cheese.
We have 4.
Cheese Pansy. Yeah, 4 of those.
4 of those.
Some plenty of beer. Also out here, the pizza bus. I can't see it, and I apologize to the ones I can't read because there's some things.
It's the ICT pizza bus. That's what it's called.
It's the pizza bus.
I'm not familiar with cheese pansy, but I want to be familiar with
you
that.
You haven't had cheese pansy?
I've not had
it's
amazing.
Like fondue type.
Oh
stuff,
my gosh!
Right? Yeah,
anything
I've got to
cheese.
check that out.
And then again, thanks to our friends over at Homegrown, they just brought us some coffee and Pop Tarts. There's a Pop Tart in the car for you, Zeb.
Oh, okay.
It's in there. But that just like all of it, and I talked about this off the top. If you're just joining us, or if maybe you're listening to us, you're out of town, you're in town, and you're looking for some sports talk radio, and we're doing that for you. These businesses, they do everything to make this amazing. Come support. To spend the weekend down here. If you're not going to the games in there, just come down here and watch basketball. We got a big screen TV here in Naftzger Park that's going to have games on. It's going to be incredible.
Yep, we'll have all the live games that's going on in the arena and outside of the arena. I know the Jayhawks will be playing this evening as well. Of course, we'll have to kind of cut that in and out on their screen out here. But we got a large screen, we have large speakers, and we have a large party down here at Naftzger Park all weekend long.
I see games.
Yeah.
It's great.
Cornhole. I love playing cornhole, and I'll take you guys all on cornhole for sure. I think the big thing before we let you go,
if you play cornhole like your song requests, then you're going down.
Fair enough. I think that's fair. Last thing before we let you go, the biggest thing about this entire FanFest area and that we're so happy to be a part of is that it's free to the public.
Yes.
It's not ticketed. You don't have to worry about paying anything to get in. So even if you don't have tickets into the games, even if you're not going inside INTRUST Bank Arena, this activation is all free to the public, open to the public. And that's cool. You don't have to worry about paying.
And I think the best part about that, it is free. And we all hear about parking in Wichita, especially downtown. And we completely understand the city of Wichita has extended their queue line. So there's actually a queue line stop directly north. Is that north? That's north of Naftzger Park right there, to where, let's say you go park in one of the public lots here in the city of Wichita, jump down on Douglas, ride that free queue line over here to Naftzger Park where you're a block away from the arena. It just makes sense.
They have a park and ride at East High School too, by the way, that you can take advantage of. You can go park at East High, which is right down the street, and get a ride here, or you can pay a little bit and park. I don't think it's free beer down here at Naftzger, but there's plenty of it. It will be a fun party. I can't wait. Sun's creeping up over the buildings right now.
It doesn't feel as cold as it did an hour
ago. Oh, no. It's much warmer now than it was an hour ago. An hour ago was the coldest. Now we're getting warm. We're going to be 60 degrees, sunny, no wind today.
Just about.
For the first day of spring. Let's go.
And we'll dance and warm you up. So come out to Naftzger Park. I'll see you guys here.
I'm not afraid to boogie it a little bit. Don't worry about that. Appreciate Max on the Freebird. We got a lot to come here on Sports Daily, too. The Chiefs make a move yesterday that we want to talk about. We want to get into the NFL a little bit. Still no momentum on Aaron Rodgers, and I think some of the stuff we talked about yesterday is coming even more true today. The appetite for the shenanigans is low. I'm curious to see how much of that changes. We're going to try and get our buddies Brandon Zinner, TJ Cleveland to be able to pop over there. They were at practice all day yesterday, basically, taking in all of the teams. Every team essentially had local angles, and so we were talking to all the coaches and players and local angles. So that's all coming for you as well over the next 2 live hours. We will be back here tomorrow for 4 more hours live. It will be much warmer, much windier, so that could be an adventure. But, yeah, I'm seeing everybody set up. I haven't even seen the other side of the arena yet. This side's looking great. Let's go. Get down here. Check it out. Games now officially less than 2 hours away. Come down, have lunch, watch the first round of games, and then get ready for the games in the arena.
Are there any last-second changes you're making to your bracket, or are you locked in? Are you done?
I almost never do that. So unless there's like an injury or something, I do it, and I do it almost immediately. I always do it the night of Selection Sunday, and then I just sort of walk away from it. Even when it's like, I put the winner of UNC San Diego State to advance no matter who it was.
Yeah.
And so, no, Not really.
So I had Ole Miss moving on originally after watching North Carolina play San Diego
There's
State
a lot
in the
of
first
people.
four. I'm like, I'm going to probably switch that. I think the Tar Heels can
I want to switch it back because I don't want North Carolina to do well. Like, I'm like, all right, no, everybody's on North Carolina. Now I want to go back to Ole Miss. Chris Beard, who's an incredible tournament coach, has a pretty talented team. We'll see. We know how good North Carolina is. Come on, man. They're always good. They got good players. All right, we'll come back. More Sports Daily. Let's talk a little Chiefs. When we return, don't go away.
"66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust." Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say,
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily, rocking and rolling here on a Thursday live, Naftzger Park. We are here until 11 o'clock, all 4 hours with you live today, which will take us right up to the tip of the opening games. We'll look at some bets in the next hour, kind of get you what we've been thinking on the first slate. So I take them, Tommy, when I do bets here, I take them like in halves. So I'll take like the first session of the day, right, and do them, and then the second session of the day. So I have some first session bets that I like. It's interesting now to pay so much attention to the lines like we do, because you can sort of throw the seeds out the window, right? Like you look at even who's favored, and there are a lot of double-digit seeds that are favored over their single-digit seeds. So that's an interesting thing to look at here as we're in the tournament. But let's talk a little football here. The Chiefs make another move yesterday.
Yeah, they do. I had missed that until just a little while ago. Having Jerry Tillery, added to their team provides, more depth. And that's something you mentioned it when we were teasing it earlier, that they just keep finding more money to be able to, bring in some added depth on this team.
He's an interesting player. I think as much as anything, when I saw that, it was more of like, okay, and we've said this before, the draft is almost certainly going to need to prioritize pass rush. And so Tillery, when you see people talk about him and evaluate him now, it's like, how much does he have left in the tank? But I think honestly at the position, I think it's a really smart move, because it's probably a rotational basis for your defensive line. I mean, Jones and Karlaftis will be out there a lot. We'll see what Felix Anudike-Uzomah, but they're probably, I'm going to guess that Spags rotates defensive linemen a ton this year, especially if they draft a bunch of young ones as they get those guys acclimated. So just having some more depth there makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the concern that I had, even recently within the last few days, has been about the depth on the defensive line. And whether we're talking about interior defensive line or on the edge, because they don't have Derek Nottie anymore. Derek Nottie signs with the Jets and, is not with the team anymore. And, even though Derek Nottie wasn't somebody that I think anybody looked at and said, okay, that is a star player, he was reliable, he was consistent. And that's, the old saying, the best ability is availability. And Derek Nottie was always there, it seemed like. And so I was concerned about just the level of depth on the defensive line. So bringing in somebody like Jerry Tillery to at least provide, added resources and a veteran presence, I think is important.
It is important. And it also maybe alleviates the need somewhere in the draft to go attack that position. What blows me away is that they keep finding ways to bring free agents in. Like they did the restructuring they had to do, but that was for the bigger ticket free agents. Now it's like, is there another restructure coming? It makes me wonder about Trey Smith. Can they alleviate their tag or their cap space this year by getting rid of that tag and pushing some of that? All of it collectively makes me think there's still a big something coming. I don't think it's a big name free agent, but I think it's a big financial.
Well, because you've already got the restructuring of Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. Like those two things have already happened.
Kelsey can't really
do a whole lot. And so I mean, as far as being able to play with money and move money around, it's going to have to be probably a Trey Smith long-term extension where you can get out from underneath some of that initial cap hit dollars on that franchise tag.
Yeah, I think so, because people have mentioned McDuffie extension, and they don't have the money for that yet.
Yeah.
And that I don't think that can happen because he's not on an expensive deal. So that's a pretty curious part, is what are they going to still do to alleviate this? It's been we talked, was it Tuesday, with our Chiefs insider Felix Johnson about some of the things they've been able to do and like where they are in the cap. And I think they've done a really nice job this offseason. I think they have done as good a job as was presented to them at left tackle. Yeah, Cam Thomas was out there. He went to Houston yesterday, which makes, Houston lets go Laramie Tunsil, and they replace him with Thomas, who's not as good, but, decent backup plan.
Cam Robinson.
Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson. I think that all things considered, they weren't going to get Ronnie Stanley. So to approach it the way that they have, I'm not guaranteeing it's success. Don't get me wrong. I think it's been a good backup plan. Trading Joe Tooney comes with a lot of risk, a ton of risk, not just because he's an all-pro left guard, but because he was your safety valve at left tackle.
He was versatile.
Well, he was all they had. Like, he was the only thing they could do, and now you don't have that anymore. So if, you're still relying on a lot of unknown at left tackle, I think, but they can still attack that through the draft too. And I was listening to, I think it was Rich Eisen yesterday, who follows us here on Sports Daily. And when they were going through mocks, I think their general assumption, and of course Eisen with his connections to the NFL, was still left tackle for the Chiefs at that spot, which, look, it would be fine because you're going to need to replace Jawan Taylor at tackle after this year. He's not coming back. So if they take a tackle early, you hope it's your left tackle, maybe it ends up being your right tackle. Either way, that is interesting to hear some people that are following that a little more closely still think tackle for the Chiefs, and I'd be fine with that. But it's all about player evaluation, right? If there's the tackle that they like, do they move up? I think what they've done through the offseason is create the flexibility that they need to pretty much do anything in the draft. They could trade up, and I'd be fine with it. They could trade down, and I'd be fine with it. They could pick best player available, I think, at this point, and I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, going back to the offensive line from a pure production standpoint, we're only talking about the play on the field. I do think, and time will tell, but I do think that it's a wash. I think it will end up being a wash because you downgraded, you would think, at left guard with Kingsley Suamataia replacing Joe Tooney.
Yes.
But I would think that it's an upgrade, even a small one potentially at left tackle. And time will tell what Jalen Moore turns out to be. But he's been thought of very highly. He's just been, as we talked about before, stuck behind a guy like Trent Williams in San Francisco and hasn't really had an opportunity to shine. So I think right now I'm willing to say that that's probably a wash from a production standpoint. What you lose with Joe Tooney is the veteran presence. You lose the versatility. You lose, kind of the guy who was the crafty veteran in the locker room. You don't have that on an offensive line where, let's be real. I know Jawan Taylor's been around for a minute, but you've got younger guys on that offensive line with Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. And, even at left tackle, you had basically a rookie in Suamataia and a second-year guy in Wanye Morris. So I think you lose that stability and that the kind of presence that a Joe Tooney brings. That's something that I'm going to be interested to see how the Chiefs, are able to compensate for that.
Yeah, that's a good look. Tooney as a left tackle,
right,
versus Moore. Tooney was outmatched plenty last year.
Totally, yeah.
He was just the best option that they had. So,
yeah, he wasn't lighting the world on fire.
I don't know if I'm going to call it a wash to go from Tooney, who was outmatched at times, to a never full-time starter. I think. I could definitely see it being worse. I could definitely see it being better. I don't know yet on that. I'm not comfortable with the line. I just don't know in my point. I don't know that they could have done any better than what they did. I think for me, that's the point for me. It wasn't ideal, but they didn't have another choice. I guess they could have gone and traded for Laramie Tunsil, but they wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Yeah.
So they're kind of stuck. And trading Tooney is risky. They better hope Suamataia works at left guard or Wanye Morse, whichever one. You better hope it works, because now if it doesn't, now you've invested draft capital there. It's cost you an all-pro left guard, like all of these things. Although I would still tell you that I think it was pretty much a Trey Smith or Joe Tooney situation. They just couldn't.
I think it was. I mean,
you can't tie up that kind of money in two guards.
I think it definitely was,
especially when you don't run the football.
You were able to move Joe Tooney, get some draft capital in return, a little bit of draft capital,
little bit
return, that won't help them immediately, but help them in 2026 potentially. So you were able to get a little bit of a return, and then the other exchange is that you would think that they have the flexibility to sign Trey Smith long term, and time will tell if they're able to get that done. At least the indications that I've seen as of now is that Smith is comfortable playing under that franchise tag for this season.
Yeah, so, I think he is. I think that was probably a part of going into that, don't you? It's not like it's a little different than when you have like Jamar Chase or somebody who, like, Trey Smith's going to make a lot a lot of money on the tag. And
I would be comfortable if I were him playing under that tag, because I'm going to get paid more this year than I would otherwise.
Right. And there's a good working relationship in that organization that you really are. Like, I would imagine all parties can be pretty honest there. And if you're the Chiefs, you can say, here's what we want to do. We want to put you on the tag. We have a couple other things we're going to do that might allow us the flexibility to do a long-term deal. Might not. We don't know that yet. But at the minimum, we'll tag you. You'll get a bunch of money, and then we'll see what we can do. And so I don't think every organization can do that, but I think the Chiefs can. And I think it's you're trying to make it all fit and make it all work, but they don't know. They even and it may be a thing, Tommy, where it comes after the draft, right? Let's see what we can draft. Let's see what we can do, and then we'll have a better idea of where we need to allocate. Because right now, they may be in a Trey Smith extension weighing, are we going to need to re-sign George Karlaftis? Well, what if we go get a great pass rushing? What if we get a good option there, and maybe the likelihood of that goes down? Then you use that money on Trey Smith. So I think it's on the table all the way up until the season starts. I don't think it has to be done tomorrow. The only thing is, I don't know how they keep affording all these players if they don't do it.
Yeah. I think that really you've got to keep in mind and take into account and you mentioned it at the beginning of the segment, though, from a defensive line perspective and pass rush, you mentioned George Karlaftis. Charles Omenihu, by all accounts, is not coming back, right? And so you've lost him more than likely. You get a little bit of strength in your depth with defensive line, bringing in a Jerry Tillery, like the veteran that he is. But then I also wonder, okay, Felix Anudike-Uzomah has not probably panned out the way that I think.
There's no probably about it. He is not.
First-round pick. He's shown up in a couple of areas, but not consistently, right? Yeah. And so I think that there becomes that question about, okay, like what is our pass rush going to potentially look like, not just this season, but in the future?
Do you remember
how we lose George Karlaftis? FAU hasn't panned out. We don't have a Omenihu. Like, what does that outside edge look like?
What does it look like this year? Do you remember how much better they looked when Omenihu came in finally and got back from injury? Like, it made all the difference in the world. So I think while I will say, because they had this mountain of things to get done in the offseason, I think they've done a nice job. It doesn't mean I think that they're inherently better than they were a year ago. I think at this point they're not. I think their offense probably is, just because of health. But their defense is definitely not without Omenihu. So you better hope some rookies pan out. If rookies don't pan out for the Chiefs, they're going to have to outscore people next year. They're losing too much defensively. As much as nice as it was to get Nick Bolton back, they're losing too much defensively. They don't have a pass rush right now on paper that you like at all.
Well, hey, there was one guy that was out there as a free agent that I thought, okay, maybe the Chiefs could bring him back and he would be cheap and it would be a nice reunion. And that was Willie Gay Jr. He was a free agent after his 1-year deal with the Saints. He signed yesterday with the Dolphins on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was something I thought, okay, he could be affordable and he's familiar with Spags and all of that. And then they didn't do that either. So, I do think that the reinforcements with Tillery was
Tranquil.
Was
important. Back, though.
Tranquil's under contract.
So you don't really.
So that's good, but at the same time, Tranquil, I don't think he's really good in spurts, but I don't think he's proven himself to be in every down type guy, right? I'm not sure. I
don't know how much better I think Willie Gay is than Drew Tranquil. That's a good question. I don't know. But that's not going to be the difference in their defense, I don't think. They got to replace Justin Reed. They've got to replace Charles Omenihu. They better hope Felix Anudike-Uzama gives them something. But
he's got to take that next step forward, and it's been mediocre, I would say, for FAU in a Chiefs jersey.
Outside of FAU, the Chiefs have been really, really good drafting defensively, and they must do it again this year. I would tell you right now that I think they need at minimum 2 rookies to be big-time contributors defensively next year. And it might be more than 2. It might be 3. I think they have to have that if they're going to return to the level of defense we've seen the last 2 years. Now, maybe they just don't return to that level and they're better offensively and it's okay. Because I do think even with the shakiness on the line, I think they'll be better offensively just through simply getting healthy. Having Rashee Rice last year would have helped the offensive line because it gives you one more quick strike passing attack option. So the defense being as good, I would say unlikely. The offense being as good, I would say is probably pretty likely to, if not better. I think they'll score more points next year than they did a year ago. We'll see now how they make it all fit financially. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I don't know where they're finding this money. Max is our cap expert. Max, I'm going to give you a second to do this. Pull up their cap, Max, and give me what the latest numbers are because it'll be updated now after the Tillery signing yesterday. Are they under? Because they'll still have to sign their free agents too. So, Max, quick on your feet. Johnny on the spot. If you have it pulled up, where do they sit right now on the cap? I can't feel my fingers right. Look.
Let's see. I got them. They allegedly have 17, almost 18 million in salary cap money. Goodell letting them skirt the cap again.
Okay, so if they have that, what if that is still off the books? I guess there's nothing off the books then.
Yeah, I don't think there would be at that point.
They freed up enough money to do the free agents?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's effective cap space.
So, okay, so if they have 17, then Trey Smith wouldn't have to happen, but that maybe they do have the room then to do Trent McDuffie still, or George Karlaftis. I don't think they're going to do Karlaftis, Tommy. I think they're going to do McDuffie. They don't have a history of that. They don't have a history of that with their defensive backs. They've let, whether it be Charvarius Ward, whether that be
Tyrann Mathieu,
and now Justin Reed.
Sneed go.
Sneed and
Justin
Reed. So
they'll let them walk. They let those guys walk.
And Barry too, to some degree. Remember, they kind of chose not to. Right there at the end, didn't they? They kind of chose to go to Mathieu. Am I remembering that sequence correctly? Barry came back, and then
yeah, right.
They didn't re-sign him. Brought in Mathieu. Yeah. Same thing with Mathieu to Justin Reed, and then they've had 2 great corners in Sneed and Ward leave. So they don't have a history of investing in McDuffie, and maybe they won't just because of that, and maybe that pushes them more towards Karlaftis. But I got to tell you, I need to see more from Karlaftis before I go and make him that kind of paid pass rusher. I don't know if I'm on an island in that way. What is your thought on Karlaftis?
I like Karlaftis.
I do too, but do you picture him as an elite pass rusher?
I don't know if I would say elite at this point. I think he's a capable pass rusher. I think he's capable.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see another step forward from him this season to be a dominant pass rusher. And I think he's got the skill set. I think he's got the build and the athleticism to do that. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not he can. I think this season will be the big test. And that's why I don't disagree with you. I don't think they're going to do an extension for him anytime soon. Yeah, I think they want to see him play this year and see if he's worthy of that kind of extension.
I think McDuffie's more likely. Maybe it's neither. Maybe they sit on the money. I don't know. That's hard for me too, man. They got too much work to do to sit on it. I didn't realize they still had that much left. So thank you, Max, for that. That's good news. Tommy, there could still be a trade possible with that kind of cap space too. There are so many different, and they have too many holes to fill. So, but they do add a little depth yesterday, which put them on the mind. There you go, Chiefs fans. They're making moves. We'll talk. Let's talk a little Aaron Rodgers. What's going on there?
Do we have to?
I know. Next.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Sports Daily. We are so glad to be here with you live at Naftzger Park, just outside INTRUST Bank Arena, getting ready. The weather's getting nicer. And we're ready for basketball.
I am so mad that they gave you access to buttons to press to make noise.
I get to
so mad about that.
I get to push all the buttons. I get to have all the fun. And we're ready for basketball. We're less than an hour and a half away from games tipping off. I don't know what the region is first, but I can't wait for it. I don't even know what game's first. I've got bets in. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll bring TJ Cleveland in. We'll save our betting talk to see who he's with. We have competing air horns now.
Zeb's got his own.
Zeb's got his yours. DJ booth next to us.
Yeah.
And I have applause here. We've got what else do we have here?
You've got to get yourself a rim shot. Like the rim shot's got to get in there.
And I have drum beat.
Drum beat.
That's the closest I have.
Yeah,
that's a long one.
Yeah.
And I can tell Tommy that I'm sick of his. So we're like we got all kinds of fun up here with the buttons that we have.
Man.
We'll talk some hoops. We'll talk brackets with TJ in just a minute. Let's Tommy spend just a minute. Look, I'm with you. I don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers all the time either.
I don't want to talk about him at all.
But he's dominating the offseason again, and I don't even think he's trying to this time.
Oh, I think he's trying to.
You think he's trying to?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's taking his time. He doesn't really want to make a decision. Like, he wants people to come after him.
I don't know.
I do think plead with him. I'm tired of it. I don't want to talk about it at all.
I don't think that that's the real situation, though. I don't think that's what's happening at all. Like, I think he's got a couple of suitors. But I don't think he's in the same place he was when the Jet stuff was happening. I mean, there's got to be reality here, right? Like, he's not the same quarterback that we thought he might be then. I think there's reality in all this where teams are really just evaluating their options. And there are a lot of options. Like, at some point, Kirk Cousins is going to be an option for somebody, an expensive one, which is his problem. At some point, like, are the Saints rolling with Carr again, or do they want to go with Rattler? I think some of this is like, if you're the Steelers, and we just only sort of compared it to Russell Wilson yesterday, but if you're the Steelers, like, who's your best option? If I gave you the choice of Wilson, Rodgers, Carr, or Cousins.
Yeah, I'll take Russell Wilson, at least for right now.
Over those guys, I would take Carr, but Rodgers is right there.
I would take Wilson, and it's because of what I talked about yesterday on the program. It's the familiarity with the program, with the organization, with Tomlin.
But if you didn't have his deep ball to Pickens, which I think is unreliable, he wasn't very good. Like, he wasn't bad. He was
none of them. I said this yesterday. None of them are winning a championship for the Steelers. I don't care if you're if you're picking Wilson, Rodgers, Cousins.
I understand that.
Carr. None of them
understand
are winning
that. But if you're the Steelers, you're thinking they are, right? I'm saying, like, if you're the Steelers, I don't think they will either. But if I'm the Steelers, I have to think they will. And so if I have to think they will, and I'm taking my pick, I mean, I'd love to know if Kirk Cousins was healthy, right? But you can't. So I don't think he's the option. Plus, he's too expensive. So then it kind of comes down to those other guys. But yeah, I might call the Saints and say, hey, I'll give you a 7th round pick for Derek Carr. Derek Carr was really, really good before he got hurt last year. And he has never been terrible. His worst years as a pro are probably, and this is age related, I'm not saying he's better, but his worst years as a pro are still probably better than this aged version of Rodgers or Wilson. I think that's fair. And so when we talk about Rodgers, like, I don't think it's as much Rodgers holding organizations hostage as it is the market sort of holding things hostage. And so then it makes me wonder, okay, if you're the Steelers, do you just draft a quarterback?
I think you draft.
You reach on Jackson Dart.
I think you draft a quarterback. I know that there was speculation, like they went out to dinner, the organization did, with Jalen Milroe because of where they pick in the draft and where Milroe might fall to. I'd be okay with that. Like, I'd be fine with them rolling with, like, Russell Wilson this season, drafted Jalen Milroe.
I think Justin Fields is better than Jalen Milroe.
Well, I mean, you're probably
although he signed free agent money.
You're probably right, but I think that's a low risk. proposition where you've got a veteran like Wilson that you can then pair up potentially with the Jalen Milroe with really not massive expectations on Milroe. If he develops, great. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah, I think they're more likely to draft one a little earlier. The Giants are another interesting one because the Giants will have to make a draft decision on one of the top quarterbacks, right? They'll be in a position to maybe take one where they are or move up to get one or whatever it is. So, like, those are the two teams now that we sit here and wonder what they're going to do at quarterback. And I guess that's my point with Rodgers. Like, they just have a lot of options. And I don't think it's Rodgers holding them hostage. I think they're trying to figure out what they think the best thing to do is.
Well, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers knows what he wants to do, or maybe he does, but he's kind of just letting everybody kind of twist in the wind until he's ready to quote unquote make his decision, right?
But
like, isn't that that's what Cam Hayward's been saying?
Right. Okay. So let's look at it this way then. Is it more Rodgers waiting to make his decision or teams waiting to make their decision?
If you trust what Cam Hayward is saying, he's saying that it's Rodgers not making up his mind.
He just said you either want to be a Steeler.
He said he was tired of waiting on it, and you either want to be a Steeler or you don't. Like, to me, that's not pointing it at the Steelers organization. That's pointing it at Aaron Rodgers.
Cam Hayward's not the GM. I think I take more of what he says based on, like, once you get there, whatever. I don't think he knows what the Steelers are doing at quarterback because I don't think the Steelers know what they're doing at quarterback yet. They may love Jackson Dart, right? They may just be like, you know what? We're just going to play possum, and then we'll come in and we'll move up where we need to move up, and we'll go take Jackson Dart. Or what if the Saints, which I've seen, I don't know if it was in Mel Kiper's or somebody's, they had the Saints taking Jackson Dart. Okay, well, if the Saints take Jackson Dart, now they have Dart and Spencer Rattler. Well, now I'm for sure going to go trade for Derek Carr. So I think the situation is holding the market hostage. And the Giants are a little less so, but the Giants, if you're the Giants ownership, and I know Dable and those guys are going to want to save their job, they'd probably rather have Rodgers. But at some point, like, if you evaluate the quarterback, and you can't let him do that. You got to say, no. Like, I know you guys are on the hot seat, whatever, but, like, we're taking the young quarterback. Which, and again, I think Shedeur Sanders is a good quarterback. I don't know about Cam Ward. I feel the same way about Cam Ward as I felt about CJ Stroud for sure. Maybe not probably a little less Justin Fields. I had a decent idea on Fields, what I thought he might be able to do or not be able to do. Stroud, it was a total unknown to me. Drake May feel that way about. I feel the same way about Cam Ward that I did about Drake May. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing about Cam Ward that, is kind of up in the air is he's played in college for so long with so many different programs that I don't know how that translates to the NFL. Like, if you've got a guy that has been with the program for even 2 or 3 years, much less 4, I feel like you get kind of an idea on his game. I mean, like, I think everybody can tell you who Shedeur Sanders is. I think everybody can tell you, like, who Quinn Ewers is. I think everybody can tell you who Jalen Milroe even is. I'm not sure that you can really know for sure who Cam Ward is because he's bounced around so much.
So he's an unknown to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't think he's going to be good. He might be great, but he fits more of that profile. Shedeur Sanders, I think, is going to be good, if not great. I think his floor is very high. And so if you're the Giants, like, and you're telling me I could take any one of those 3 guys or Aaron Rodgers, like, I'm taking the young guy at this point. The Giants aren't going to win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers could help them be good. He could help them be relevant. He could probably help save a job, but he's not helping them do anything of significance next year. He's not helping any team do anything of significance next year unless the 49ers becomes an option. The Vikings have already answered that question. That was the other spot. And I would still contend that the Steelers are good enough elsewhere on the roster to contend. But I don't know that they want Rodgers because I think they may be thinking about a quarterback in the draft.
I don't know. Mike Tomlin, I think, is a very pragmatic coach. I think he's proven that over the years. And I think he has a very low tolerance for shenanigans.
Yeah.
I think he's proven that over the years. And so I've never thought, even from a roster perspective, sure, like, it makes sense. But from a fit perspective with the kind of style and the attitude and all of that, I've never
I don't disagree.
I've never felt like a Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers marriage would be would be fruitful. Let me just say that. I never thought that it would be fruitful.
I don't disagree with it. I just don't think Tomlin's going to put up with it. So Rodgers can try to be there.
Now, the only fly in the ointment here is that how desperate is Mike Tomlin getting? Because he was on the hot seat. He's been on the hot seat, right? How desperate? And he doesn't strike me as a desperate kind of guy.
He's in the fans' hot seat. He's not in the real hot seat. If Mike Tomlin was fired, he would be hired immediately. You'd be looking at an Andy Reid situation again. I mean, honestly, like if they chose to make that decision in Pittsburgh, which would be the most insane decision that they could make, so stupid. And I know Steeler fans, because when I get on the national network and we talk about the Steelers, it's not just a few Steeler fans that want him gone. It's a lot of and I'm like, guys, like you're nuts, right? Go ask the Eagles how much they regret it. And they won 2 Super Bowls since getting rid of Andy Reid. I get it, but like if he was fired, he would be hired the next day. Not in a literal sense, but you know what I'm saying. And
there were teams that were interested in trading for him.
Do you know why? Because they think he might be available. Totally. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him. Let us take Mike. But I think the reality is he's not in the hot seat. The Steelers don't fire their coaches. Yeah, they may be the model organization in football. I mean, honestly, over the entire history, right? You know, there are different in and out, but like as far as consistency, they're as consistent as it gets. I don't think Rodgers would be disruptive there because I don't think Mike Tomlin would let him be disruptive. So I don't think it matters.
Well, that's why I think I'm not sure Aaron Rodgers would want to go there because
maybe not.
I don't think that he would want that accountability because every time he's had accountability, it's turned into a debacle. And I don't think that he would want to put himself in a position where he's not ultimately in charge and pulling the strings. And I agree with you. Mike Tomlin doesn't put up with that sort of thing. So I think preemptively, Aaron Rodgers would probably say, you know what, I'm not sure that's the best bet for me because I've got to be the smartest one in the room. I've got to be the top dog. And Mike Tomlin is not going to let me do that. That's not the right place for me to go.
Yeah.
It's not unlike, honestly, Russell Wilson before he was humbled and Sean Payton in Denver. Like it's not dissimilar to that situation. Like Russell Wilson wanted to kind of be like the guy to call the shots, and Sean Payton was like, absolutely not. We're not doing this. And it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. It's so hard too, because when reputations follow these guys, they can never shake them.
But I think Russell Wilson has, because I think he humbled himself in Denver, and I think he found a good fit with Tomlin in Pittsburgh. And I think he's been able to say, like, look, my role is to not be the top dog. Like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to play quarterback and I'm going to move forward. But Aaron Rodgers has never shown that he can do that.
Sean Payton has a big ego, and I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm not sure I think Mike Tomlin has a big ego. He has a big personality. That's a decent, I like it. I like it. Speaking of the Broncos, I heard somebody, I mean, it's Rich Eisen again. Like, is this the year they challenge the Chiefs getting challenged in the West?
I think that if they're going to, it would be the Broncos. I think the Broncos would be the team to challenge them.
I still think it'd be the Chargers just because I believe in their coach so much. I don't think either of them are, just for the record. All right, we'll come back. I think TJ Cleveland's going to be here. We'll talk some of our bets. We'll get you primed up for the tournament games today. Don't go away. Sports Daily, live from Naftzger Park at INTRUST Bank Arena.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, Tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say,
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of. It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily with Jacob Albrock and Tommy Kester.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. We are still live with you. Hour number 4.
Let's go.
Underway. Here we go. Thank you, Zach. We got TJ Cleveland with us now for this final hour. TJ's been doing some news hits over with our 12 News crew. We're set up. We got a set over on the other side, and then we've got a 12 News crew over here. So as you're making your way down here, say hi. We'll have a lot of people all over the place. Tommy will be here all day. There's going to be a live DJ, I think, probably once we leave the air. I imagine Zeb will get things going. I'm telling you guys, like if you were here in 2018, this is an even better setup. Maybe more organized is the way to go, because I think we described it earlier as like a guerrilla. Just like that first time, it was just like everyone was just like, it's a party in the street, let's go. Now you've got, we've got, I can see 5 food trucks, 3 booze trucks. There's beer everywhere. There's all the great restaurants down here. Again, thank you to Homegrown for the coffee and Pop-Tarts earlier.
You guys got Pop-Tarts?
We got
They brought us
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
There's and then more restaurants and stuff on the other. I have not been over. I'm not, trying to discount any of the great businesses and parties that are on the other side. I just haven't been over there yet.
They're there.
But it's such a cool setup right now. And this part of it where we are didn't exist in 2018. So now we're all, and then we connect right into Old Town. So all of those people in from out of town, we hope to put on a great show for you here in Wichita as we get ready for basketball. Up first today, fellas, Creighton and Louisville.
Good one.
So the games tip off on KWCH. Creighton and Louisville is one of the better games in the first half. I was talking to my wife last night, was trying to fill out her bracket, and she was like, oh, man, Louisville, they're always good, but I like Creighton. Which one are you picking? I'm like, coin flip. That's one of the tougher games of the first round. I took Louisville. I believe that they're in my first window bets. I'm laying the 3 with Louisville, but they're too close to home, I think. And they're very, very talented.
Yeah, can we talk about for a second the work that Pat Kelsey has done? And just being able to kind of turn that program around. It was down in the dumps, and just what he's been able to do. It's been remarkable to get them back into the tournament.
I can't believe what I want to talk about is the 8-9 matchup between these two. Louisville is the number 10 team in the country in the AP poll, and they're an 8 seed. Creighton just finished second in the Big East, which may be the 4th best conference in America, and they're a 9 seed. So this is a matchup that you'd probably see in a Sweet 16 in a normal seeded field, but there's so many weird ones, and the SEC is so good that you have teams all over the place.
We think they're so good.
Yeah, we'll see. But Louisville as an 8, as the number 10 team in the country, that's what I'm kind of just solely basing Louisville off of, is the fact that not that many AP voters can be that wrong about this team. So I'm going to take them pretty far.
Aren't they playing it in Lexington?
Yes.
So, that's the thing, too. I don't want to hear anybody, Louisville fans, complaining that they're an 8.
Yeah.
You get to play in Lexington.
Right.
They got the best draw they could have gotten.
They did.
Yeah, and that happens all the time in the tournament, right? It's like, oh, we got underseeded and overseeded, and I'm like, that's
I'd be complaining if I was Creighton, not Louisville.
Maybe, but I'll never forget this. It was in Omaha, the first tournament I covered here when Wichita State and Kansas played. Kansas had a gripe that year because Wichita State was way better than their seed, and it wasn't a punishment to Wichita State; it was a punishment to Kansas.
Yeah.
And the year before that, the Shockers were punished by having to play Kentucky as an 8 seed. I don't. If anybody is getting screwed because of Louisville and Creighton, it's Auburn. They're the ones that should be complaining, not Louisville or Creighton.
Yeah.
It's Auburn.
And I like Auburn a lot, and I think that Bruce Pearl's done a really good job. They haven't performed as of late. They've stumbled a couple times, and I think that, and then you combine that with the draw, that makes it tough, I think, for them to make a deep run. I think, honestly, in my mind, not taking into account Cooper Flagg's injury and all of that for Duke, I think Auburn's the most vulnerable 1 seed out of the entire 4.
I agree. I have Duke going down pretty early in my bracket. I had Auburn making a run, but I agree. I think if they got somebody brought it up the other day, you have to play Louisville in Lexington, as Auburn is a team that's lost 3 of the last 4, I believe. So they are a juggernaut, though. We've seen how bad they've beaten teams, and if they get hot, they can beat anybody in the country. It's the reason they're a 1 seed. Obviously, I'm preaching to the choir here. But, I don't know. I think I'd be pretty gypped if I was Auburn.
I think Auburn has the best draw of the 1s. If they can get through that round of 32 landmine.
Yeah.
I actually and I have them in the Final 4 because I like their draw. Everyone talked about the draw, but outside of that random Louisville, which Creighton could totally beat Louisville, but outside of that Louisville, after that, Iowa State's got a key player out. Michigan State is good but flawed a little bit, I think, offensively. I think Auburn has a fine. I didn't want to put Auburn in my Final Four.
Hey, let's not overlook the Sweet 16 matchup we could get between Auburn and the 12 seed UC San Diego.
It's going to happen.
Good.
I
really want to pick San Diego over.
Is there anybody that's not taking them? Are they still favored? Or I think
I think it's 2-point line.
Yeah, it's swung. They opened as a favorite. I'm almost certain.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Back to Michigan.
There's a couple 12s that are favored. Colorado State's still favored over Memphis.
I really like Colorado State, and I mentioned that a couple hours ago. I really like them. I think that they can. I think they will beat Memphis in this game because if you can find any way to even get PJ Haggerty off of his game, that's all Memphis has.
It hurt. They don't have Tyrese Hunter. It looks like he still have a bit of boot on in the AAC championship game, I believe. So I picked Memphis. I think that's just some AAC bias coming out that I want to see the American Conference do so well.
Me too.
But if Haggerty scores 42 points like he did against the Shockers, they're going to beat everybody in the country.
There are very many teams in the country that are so prone to letting somebody score 42 points. All right. High Point and Purdue. Anybody buying High Point?
I'm all over High Point. You know they got a former national champion, Bobby Pettiford, coming off the bench. Former Jayhawk.
I've always wondered what happened to Bobby Pettiford. I had no idea he was at High Point.
East Carolina, watched him play the Shockers. Yeah. He comes off the bench for High Point. He's their sixth man. He's averaging like 10 points a game. They have like multiple guys that have made deep runs in the tournament that dropped down to go play for High Point this year. So a lot of tournament experience. They're not going to be scared of playing Purdue. You talk about all these 13 seeds and stuff that see the bright lights and that first media timeout. They get shell-shocked those first 4 minutes. High Point's not going to get shell-shocked. Purdue better come out firing.
Yeah, High Point is an interest. I got Purdue, but that's the other one. Then you got two games that Montana. Montana's good. Wisconsin, though, I've said this about Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's a team, and I know Tommy has BYU over them. I also have BYU over them.
I also have BYU.
But I will tell you that I think Wisconsin could be that team that gets in the Final Four that we're not talking enough about.
Even just the casual picking of your brackets when you click on the notable wins and losses for Wisconsin, it's like they beat that team by 30. They beat that team by 30. They scored 99 points in that game.
Yeah.
Like they're the
best
anomaly.
offense they've ever had. But it's not the same coach they've always had. But I mean, Wisconsin's traditionally a really good tournament team.
And I don't know if there's another team that is, in the top few seats that is not talked about like Wisconsin has not been talked about this year.
I'm telling you.
Like just kind of come out of nowhere really. And, if you're outside of Big Ten country, nobody is paying attention to Wisconsin.
No. I wanted Texas Tech to be in a region with Auburn so I could put them in the Final Four, and I wanted Wisconsin to be in a region somewhere else. But their draw, it's hard. It's hard. It's going to be hard for Duke. It's going to be hard for BYU. It's going to be hard for Wisconsin. It's going to be hard for Alabama because they're all kind of the same.
I mean, I picked Duke losing in the round of 32 to Baylor. I think that, it depends on what you're going to get from Cooper Flagg. Obviously, that's the huge
Do we have a definitive answer? I mean, is Flagg good to go?
Play.
He's good to go?
He's going to play, but that's the question.
Yeah.
How much can he play? Is he going to be the Wooden Award winner with a bum ankle coming off of that injury? And I just think that that's a bad matchup for Duke for a team that in that ACC schedule, you talk about the amount of quad ones that they played. It's not that many. And then you get matched up with a Baylor team that just came out of a grind in the Big 12 and VJ Edgecombe. That just screams like a tournament hero type of story for that kid.
One more here, and it's the game here at INTRUST Bank Arena. The first one here is the last one of the first window. Houston hosting SIU Edwardsville. We're not going to talk about it like SIU Edwardsville might win.
Are they going to cover?
Can Houston cover 28 and a half?
Not a point. I just did my news hit over there talking about the pressure of a 1 seed not wanting to be the team that falls to the 16 seed. And then I said, let me caveat this with Houston is 30-point favorites. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen here, but that's the thing to watch. Can Miles Thompson and Ring Maleeth and all of the Wichita guys and Barton Community College guys, can they find a way to cover that number?
I'm taking 28 and a half. I'm taking 28.
You're going to lay the 28 and a half?
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either.
No way.
I'm not. And it's not because I doubt Houston. I just think
Houston's my champion.
Yeah, I don't doubt them at all. I mean, that's a huge
No,
number.
I'm taking the points.
Oh, you're taking the points. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking
I'm
not laying that.
I'm taking the points. Yeah. Yes. That's the first game here. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back and we'll hit that next window of games. We'll kind of take them set by set here in this hour. Of course, KU is going to be a part of that in just a little bit too. Let's see. Let's give away some HTO real quick. If you want to win some free iced tea, you can do that right now by texting the keyword tea to 20357. That'll get you free iced tea More than 26 flavors to choose from, east or west Wichita, or down in Derby. That's where those are good for. So enter that contest. You can also enter the 35 by 70 golf apparel contest. $120 gift card there. That's golf to 20357. That's the number. Both contests, tee or golf, whichever one you want. You can get them through us at Sports Daily. When we come back, the second part of the first session at all 4 regional sites for the Thursday. We are live from Naftzger Park here, just to the north of INTRUST Bank Arena. This is a new area for the tournament, and it looks fantastic. We got some music going. We got people showing up. The games are going. We're just getting cooking here. We'll be right back. Don't go away. More Sports Daily right after this.
"66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of... It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scatter thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back out here to Naftzger Park, everybody. We are coming to you live here. Jacob Albrock, Tommy Castor, TJ Cleveland, having some fun. Music's going. Hey, the sun came out, and wouldn't you know it? So do the people here at Naftzger Park. This is awesome. We hope you'll come down and party hard today. Enjoy the basketball. We are talking about the basketball. We made it through the first session. Real quick, guy Dan the Man Page, former colleague, sent a message and said, back in '94, Wichita had first and second round games at the Kansas Coliseum, but coming in that year, Jawan Howard, Jalen Rose, Tim Hardaway, Marcus Camby, Coach Cal, Joe Smith, Glenn Robinson were all here.
How about that?
Are you saying that because we got a big blue shirt in front of us right here?
No, it's just good timing. Just good timing there on that. All right, fellas, we're making our way through the games here and just kind of looking at them, betting perspectives. We all kind of like taking the points today with SIU Edwardsville, even though Houston is all three of our champions. It's kind of hard to believe. We start the second half of the first half of the day.
A lot of basketball.
Alabama State and Auburn. 32 points. I watched Alabama. That was Alabama
awesome.
State in the play-in the other night. Wasn't
Awesome
it?
game.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not laying 32 for anybody.
Yeah,
I'll take the points again.
And I think Auburn is not vulnerable, but I at least in this game, but I do think that they're gonna struggle to cover that number for sure. I think Alabama State at least showed in that very first playing game that they can get some points up on the board.
I mean, are you going to beat somebody, TJ, 90-58?
Right. That's what I'm saying. In this first round, especially for these 1 seeds, you got a hungry 8 or 9 coming up next. I mean, I can't imagine like Kelvin Sampson playing his guys the whole time, trying to run up the score or anything like that, when all you got to do is just survive and advance. So I'm not betting on any of these. I want to know, are you guys got juice on every game today?
No.
Are you going 128
I don't.
No, the only one of that first session that I actually bet was Louisville. Louisville is the only money I have right now out of that first window.
Have you guys seen? I know on DraftKings they do it. You can parlay your bracket. And you can go like 10 different teams to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I did that one.
Oh my gosh, the odds you can get on that are crazy. That's my favorite thing I'm gonna do all week.
Yeah, that one is pretty wild. So McNeese and Clemson. McNeese has probably got one of the worst draws, I think, for being a really good team and having a really good year. I think Clemson's tough. Clemson's a place I like Clemson. Clemson was another team to take on a run based on history of how good a team is offensively and how good a team is defensively at the same time. Clemson fits that profile.
Yeah, on top of that, McNeese State, I mean, they're with every win, that's one game closer to Will Wade taking over.
You never know how that's going to go, though.
Right? So like that announcement was, or not really announcement, but the report was yesterday that Will Wade is taking the job at NC State. So those players and Will Wade, playing for basically him to continue on another day longer at that school.
I loved his response to that, by the way. He was just like, I'm honest with them and they're honest with me. Like, yeah, I told them, like, so what? Like, they can talk to me about what they're going to do too. And I appreciate that.
This one feels like, I know last year everybody jokes about what's the 2025 going to be of the 2024 McNeese Cowboys, because everybody in the country was on McNeese last year and they didn't get it done. And I think just by default, you see McNeese again, and a lot of people are going to pick McNeese in the upset in this one. But like you said, it's a bad draw. Clemson, they're a team that they beat Duke. Like, you can look at their ACC schedule of the teams that they beat. They're a really good 5 seed.
I like Clemson a lot. And, I think Brad Brownell has put together probably his most talented squad, at least one of his top 2 or 3 talented squads at Clemson. And I think that they are not getting a lot of the respect that they probably deserve. They could absolutely make a little bit of a run.
All right, VCU, BYU. I know who we're all taking in this one. BYU got another tough draw, though. That's the problem. So here's why I couldn't, Tommy, take BYU as far as you had them. As much as I went into the tournament and I was like, BYU might be the team I take to the Final Four. Just because of the way they shoot, just because of how old they are. The problem with it for me was who they have to play in the first round. It can bust your bracket.
Totally. That's the game out of all of them today that I'm paying the closest attention to, because I do have BYU in my Final Four. But I agree with you. It's a terrible game in the first game for them in the first round. But if they can get through VCU, I've got them making it all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, because they do the same things that the other teams against them do. But VCU is always good. BYU is such a wild, and I'm betting BYU today. They're actually a team I have money on. Minus 2.5 right now. BYU's dangerous in every game they play, though, because they're so reliant on shooting.
I agree.
And the neutral court game, you just never know.
This is one that whenever Brandon and I were watching the selection shows, you saw VCU get that draw and have them play in VCU, and we don't know anything about VCU. We're not following that conference.
No, but you know what they always are.
Then you look at VCU and you're like, oh, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one.
Well, and Ryan Odom has put together a really stellar defensive team, and that's the kryptonite, or could be at least, to what BYU wants to do.
Now, there's a flip side to that. If BYU does shoot well, can VCU keep up with that?
Right.
The thing about BYU is they don't just have a couple of guys that shoot well. They've got like 7. So they all shoot well.
Yeah.
So they're hard to guard. If they shoot well, they're hard to beat. They're hard to guard. And that's why we see them this year win a bunch of crazy games and then lose badly, though, on the flip side of it.
That Iowa State game in the Big 12 tournament, watching that, I remember I texted our buddy Joe Baker, and I was like, I'm taking BYU to my Final Four. And then I saw them go down by like 20 points to Iowa State. I'm like, never mind. And then the fact that they won that game, I'm like, they might go to the national championship.
Yeah.
They're a good enough team that they could go on one of those stupid runs like that.
It's just going to be a question of today. Like, what is today's game going to be like? If they can get through it, I've got them making a run.
And then the other game here in that session is Georgia and Gonzaga. I got to be honest, I don't know anything about the Bulldogs of Georgia.
Yeah.
Gonzaga.
How about the draw? We got Cougars and Bulldogs and Bulldogs.
I love it.
Gonzaga is being who is the most likely 8 to make a run? Louisville, Gonzaga, or UConn?
Louisville.
Probably Louisville. Close second would be UConn.
Yeah.
I think Gonzaga out of those 3 is probably last.
This feels like a very KU-esque year about Gonzaga as well. I'm sure up in the Northwest they're saying the same things about Mark Few that they're saying about Bill Self, and run the same storylines about their worst seed in X amount of years. I don't know what the stat is.
Washed up, not going to make it, can't compete.
They're a team. This is their 27th straight tournament. I think it's third longest streak currently in basketball. So they do something right. Georgia's a team that's kind of in and out type of thing. They're kind of in probably because they're in the SEC. They're in another conference with the resume they have. They probably wouldn't be in. I don't know if that's a hot take to say that or not. But I'm probably going to take Gonzaga in this one. But, again, this is probably one of the worst Gonzaga teams that we've watched in a while.
I'm a little worried about Houston having to play Gonzaga, I would be honest.
I agree. Just playing against Mark Few, whoever's on the court.
I know, like that.
But man, Mark Few versus Kelvin Sampson's gonna be so freaking cool.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be, and I think Houston's way better than Gonzaga, but still makes you nervous. It's like Kansas. It's just like playing Kansas as a 7. You're just like, okay, I get it. I watched them all year. I know about that, but then I also know they're the preseason number 1 with an unstoppable offensive weapon in Hunter Dickinson. So have fun. with that, and that's kind of how I feel about Gonzaga. That's the other one. Looking around here, we got the SIU Edwardsville contingent coming down here to Naftzger Park, showing up big. I can't wait to see, because they're up first, right? Yeah, they play
Houston. Yeah.
So we'll have all of that. We're going to have all these visiting fan bases, and then I've got a bunch of buddies I know playing like hooky for the second half of their day. How many people are taking off work just to come down here and party all dang day on a Thursday?
Can you imagine?
This is the best day of the year.
Think about how when we got here and we came on the air at 7 o'clock. I mean, obviously it was freezing cold. And the sun hadn't come up yet. We were the first ones down here.
Yeah.
It was deserted and empty. And now look at it, 3 hours later, it's incredible.
I got to ask you guys this. Okay, I was bringing this up on 12 News this morning. Between Super Bowl Sunday, the CFP, the World Series, is there a sporting day better than the first day of the round of 64?
No, not in my opinion.
You get basketball from 11 to midnight.
Yeah, I don't think so. The NFL opening Sunday is pretty amazing, but I'll say no. I'll say this is better.
I've got a dark horse for me, and that's the final round of the Masters. Sunday at the Masters up there.
Not even close.
Come on.
I'd put that up there.
It's fine. It's fine,
it's
but it's
fantastic.
not.
The final
last
6
time,
holes are fantastic.
When was the last time it was fantastic when Tiger Woods was involved?
Last year?
I don't even know who won last year.
Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, yeah, that's
any golf tournament, just say Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler. That's all you got to know.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't dislike it, but it's not this. It's not this.
I agree.
This is the only thing to me that comes even close is NFL opening Sunday.
Yeah.
That's the only one. Everything else, you could put World Series, as much as I'm a baseball guy, all of it, nothing is better than the Thursday
I
of
agree.
March Madness.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that's covering the games, and they're like, man, this is going to be weird not sitting at home on a couch watching a quad box because we're covering the games. And I was like, listen, I've covered March Madness the last 2 years, and even I was in Greensboro, North Carolina when Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue. I was watching the game before K-State played, or I don't know who K-State played, Montana State's who it was. Yeah. And I was sitting there, and the crowd was cheering for Fairleigh Dickinson because they were all watching it on their phones, and they were showing it on the big screen. And you don't even have to be watching the game that you're watching. Just being around basketball people is the best part of this day.
And it's around here too, and that's what I get. We are from Josh Howell visit Wichita at the very top of the show. The tickets are close to sold out.
Almost non-existent.
That Mizzou Drake game will be so close to sold out because of everybody coming across state lines.
Well, I didn't expect that as much for that, but what that doesn't even consider are all the people that are coming down here that never even had a plan to go to a game.
Right, totally. And you brought up a really good point during the break when you said that, hey, if Texas Tech can win today,
oh, dude, they're coming.
Then Lubbock is going to come up here for Saturday. You've got a weekend. Or if Mizzou wins, can you imagine the Mizzou contingent driving in on a Saturday? They may not necessarily be here today, the entire fan base. A lot of them will be, but there'll be even more people from those fan bases coming in for a game on Saturday.
So I think today's going to be really good. I think Saturday will be better.
If we got Mizzou, Texas Tech on Saturday night, is Patrick Mahomes coming?
He'll come. He's coming Saturday. He's going to come. He goes to all their games. He's 20 minutes away. He's going to come to all their games.
Is he going to be here? Do you think he's going to be here today? Today's game?
For a 9:30 p.m. tip-off, I'd imagine that's past the kids' bedtime.
He's a dad of 3. I doubt today, but I'll bet you he comes.
Saturday's game, if he makes it?
I'll bet you he comes.
Even if it's Drake, I think that's even a better storyline.
They're all great storylines. I don't know who I want. It's really hard for me because the Drake storyline, you can talk about this because you heard from Ben McCollum yesterday, and we were going to save this for Brandon, but he can't get here. They're as good a story as there is.
That's awesome.
I mean, he's a Division II guy. I'm a Division II guy. You're a Division II guy. To see them have that success that immediately is so perfect. And then you've got the Mizzou angle and I know KU fans don't want to see Mizzou do anything, but Caleb Grill's there.
Yeah.
And I want both of those teams to win. I hate it.
It's going to be weird. That's what I was bringing up. Last year I was at KU Samford, and it was in Salt Lake City, so there's no locals. But everybody in that arena was cheering for Samford because everybody just wants that to happen. I expected when I saw Drake was coming here, it's going to be all Drake. But then Mizzou, it's going to be a 50-50 crowd, I bet, whenever it happens. I bet there's going to be 50% Mizzou fans in there and then 50% people that just want an 11 seed to advance.
Right. Even though is Drake favored, I think Drake's
I think it's swung back. But anyways, there's going to be that angle. Everybody wants the 11 seed to win. But then for the entire contingency across the country that have any Division II ties to see Bennett Sturts go in there and beat Mizzou and beat Mark Mitchell, these 5-star blue chip guys. It's just a story. They were practicing at Newman University yesterday. I tweeted out a stupid stat just messing around about for anybody looking for an 11 seed, Ben McCullum has never lost a game in the city of Wichita. He's beat Newman twice.
Yeah.
So now that Darian DeVries is off the table, going to Indiana, is there going to be a more sought-after coach in America than Ben McCullum this offseason? Because I'm not sure that there will be a more sought-after coach.
I think we're a year early on it. I think it's a year early.
The thing is, as well, to think about the twofold of that is Ben McCullum was turning down offers to stay at Northwest Missouri to be a lead assistant at Power 5. He turned down Texas Tech. And so the fact of if you're going to come get Ben McCullum as a head coach from Drake, where he's got this building and the Missouri Valley under his back, and we know what the Missouri Valley can do for you if you can run that conference. You'll jump for a bigger job, but you're going to have to. I don't think he's going to jump for West Virginia.
Yeah, I would, but the problem I think right now, and I'm a believer, obviously, in coaches like him. You still have to see if he can recruit. You still have to see if he can handle the port. Because right now, he just kind of brought his guys with him. And so I think if you're a big-time program and you're going to make that kind of hire, it's a pretty big leap of faith. He's never even been an assistant recruiting at that level here. So I think it's probably 1 year early for that. But it's not going to take long, right? It's going to be. I mean, DeVries went through the same thing, right? It took him just a second, but I'd hire.
Are we throwing the smoke screen here to hopefully keep him at Drake long enough to whenever Bill Self retires, we can get that pipeline?
I like McCullum a lot.
KU fans might riot if they hired a coach from Drake.
Oh no, they wouldn't if he was still winning. But again, it would be the same thing. You got to see if somebody can recruit at this level. I mean, if you're going to go to KU, you better be able to recruit better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And so that's a big challenge, and it's I don't know. I love the story so much, and then I love the Caleb Grill story for Mizzou. I mean, Caleb Grill is back. He is back, not just physically back in his home area, he's back as a basketball player and
best
as a person, and it's he is looking like the flashes we saw of his early college career, and it's just been so great to see. I hate that somebody has to lose that game today.
This is his 6th year of college basketball, I believe. I think we're the same age, actually. And the fact that, he's just kind of fallen into a, 7th or 8th guy off the bench at Iowa State. He had the year at UNLV where he was pretty good. But just to go to the SEC, and he was kind of another bench guy last year, then to turn into a guy that got multiple, SEC Player of the Weeks. I mean, in that conference especially, I mean, that's an awesome story. And then to just have it come home. I mean, yesterday, watching the amount of Mays people that were there, and just for him in the locker rooms, I mean, he's got microphones in his face every second. He's going to be the star of everything that happens here all week long.
And him having his best season as a collegiate athlete and getting to come back here that same year, I mean, you can't script that sort of thing. That's so cool.
No, it's a great story. All right, let's hit these real quick. We're going to save Kansas, talk about them the next segment. Yale, any y'all biting on the Yale upset love?
It's not the greatest 13 seed that we got. No. But I also don't love Texas A&M.
Yeah,
I don't love you.
Yale's a pretty good. That's a pretty tight line. I have Utah State beating UCLA. That's one of my upsets there. We all have UC San Diego. St. John's 18.5 in Omaha. That's a pretty small line.
That is a pretty small line. I know all about Omaha Mavericks this year. We got a new producer at work, Nathan Farrell. Loves him some Omaha Mavericks. So every day he'll come up and talk about the Summit League with me. And he could not get enough whenever UMKC beat Wichita State.
And then Tech, minus 14.5. I actually like that line for Tech. Minus 14.5. I believe that's one of the lines. I mean, I know they're missing a play. They've been missing some key guys for a month now. They're fine. They'll be all right. We'll hit Kansas in a minute. We got just a couple of minutes. Any other bets that you guys actually made? I'll take Drake in the points.
Yeah, I actually like Drake on the money line. I think that they move on.
I'm taking that.
I almost took him on the money line, but then I just decided to take the points instead. UC San Diego, I picked them. I don't know that I bet them though.
The only thing that I'm going to do all day long with my betting accounts is this is the best part about this day is that I'm probably not going to do a single straight bet. I'm just going to do 10 different parlays and just sprinkle all the little favorites.
Every bet I'm talking about is in a parlay.
I've got six. I've got six currently, and I don't think I have more than $1 on each of them, and they're all going to pay out more than about $1,000.
I will probably though do a same game parlay on Kansas. and we'll talk about that next. So, because I do want to get a little different kind of action on that game.
I actually really like Michigan in this game today because they're coming off of a Big Ten tournament win. I think Dusty May's got them playing at the right time.
Hated that matchup for UC San Diego. As much as I love UC,
they're probably the best 12 we've seen in a long. Like they had a legit resume, not the resume because they play in the Big West and they don't have any big wins. But I mean, they're the best 12 seed maybe of all time. Like when you look at the amount of
the 12,
the KenPom analytics, everything. Like they've been a top 40 KenPom team all year, basically.
Yep.
Like, and that's unheard of in the Big West.
They're like early year Gonzaga, honestly, is what they remind me of. Playing in a bad league and doing that. All right, let's come back in a minute. Let's talk Kansas. Don't go away.
66 counties, 4 regions, and 1 weather team that you can trust. Find Storm Team 12 every weekday at 5:30 on the KSCW. Whatever the weather and wherever you are, Storm Team 12 is zooming in, going zone by zone to give you a more in-depth look at the forecast and some science behind the storms so you know more. We're focusing on the forecast so you can focus on what's important to you. Storm Team 12 Weather Focus, 5:30 on the KSCW.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
It's the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
When you need help, remember, you're not alone. We are here. We are neighbors. We are together. We are Kansas. We are 12 News.
They say,
What is GMFB overtime?
It's Peter, Jamie, Kyle, and Akbar breaking down the NFL 5 days a week.
It's okay to be excited.
It's this, that, and a whole lot of It's football for everyone.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KSCW.
Are following a breaking update.
every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scatter thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Final segment of the 4-hour fun we've been having here on Sports Daily. We'll be back here tomorrow at Naftzger Park from 7 to 11 again. Jacob Albrock here, Tommy Castor, TJ Cleveland joining us here for the final hour. TJ, you've been over on the other side doing TV hits. It's been a minute. It's filling up over here on this side. We got the mayor doing a thing here. There's all kinds of games and parties and everything set up on this side.
That was very descriptive. The mayor's doing a thing.
Mayor's doing it. I don't know what it is.
It's her media briefing.
Okay.
Mayor's Watch.
Mayor's Watch.
Watch it tonight on 12 News.
You can tell we're kind of locked in over here with our thing. But
do you think the mayor filled out a bracket?
Yeah, but
I hope that's part of the briefing, like who her national champion is.
Lily's a Shocker fan. I'm not sure she'd pick anybody besides Wichita State. But they didn't make it in. They got bumped. Let's talk about Kansas. They're the only team that did make it in. It's the last game we haven't talked about yet, specifically. Arkansas. Arkansas looks healthy, I think. So what does that mean for Kansas? Guys, if they don't lock it up defensively, they're going to be toast. And I don't know why that's been so inconsistent lately, because they played a large stretch of the season where it wasn't a problem. And I know it's 3-point shooting, but it's not all 3-point shooting. Like they have got to stop with that and be a great defensive team.
Yeah, I think that one of the other keys that really hasn't been talked about a whole lot leading into this game is the fact that Arkansas does not defend the post well at all. And they haven't this season at all. And so there's a big opportunity for both Hunter Dickinson and Flory Badunga to really be able to feast down low.
Or even maybe KJ Adams.
Maybe KJ Adams as well, because Arkansas doesn't defend the post well. Now, on the flip side, we all know KU doesn't defend the three well at all.
Right.
And so they've got to make sure that, they lock down there too. But that could be an opportunity for the Jayhawks.
I think that this is a thing that we could talk about all the different angles that we want, and it's not going to be an Arkansas thing. It's going to be a Kansas thing because, like we said, they're the preseason number one.
I agree with that.
They've beaten some of the best teams. They beat Texas Tech, or they beat Arizona. Excuse me. They almost beat Texas Tech. They almost beat Houston twice. They're a team that
did beat Duke. They did beat Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about those. That was feels like 2 years ago at this point. But they're a team that can beat anybody, and they're a team that can lose to anybody. It depends on who we get. Big 12 tournament looked pretty promising, except for the final 5 minutes against Arizona. But for the game against UCF played their butts off. That was the best I've seen them play all year. So don't downplay that at all. They're a team that in that game looked like they could beat anybody. For that 10-minute span of the second half against Arizona, they look like a team that could go to the Elite Eight, everything like that. It just depends on who we're going to get, what they're going to do from outside, if they're going to be able to shoot a three-pointer, if it's going to be the team that we see that shoots 5, or what they're going to do. So
they've been shooting the three well lately. I wonder too, if you're going to get something out of Diggy Coit, this is probably the shot to take on that, because you don't have to worry as much about his perimeter defense, which has been a problem. So I think as we put bets together, it's hard to not go with Hunter Dickinson, especially on long rest, one game. I would say his points and rebounds up above 30 is probably pretty good. I don't know about the over-under. I haven't even looked at what the over-under is. Just in theory, though, I could see this game getting up there. As good as KU is defensively, like they haven't been that team in a little while, but they have to be.
Yeah, on top of that, too, I mean, you've got to keep in mind the way that Zeke Mayo has been shooting as of late, too. So there's that opportunity. There's that chance for Mayo, if he can hit the shots like he has over the last couple of weeks, that, the point total could definitely go up.
I think it's the fact that we talked about this, about the draw that they got. KU's a team that likes to play slower. They like to grind you out defensively and win a game 60-55. Every team in the SEC wants to score 100 points, whoever they are. Arkansas is on the lower end of that. They're not Florida or Alabama that likes to run that many possessions up, but they're a team that's going to try to score a lot of points. Whatever it is, I'm probably going to take the over in that.
Yeah, tournament games, I don't like over and unders in tournament games anyway, because sometimes teams are just they're not feeling it. Zeke Mayo's a good one to bet too, by the way, because he's gonna take the shots. So probably like 3+ is a safe Mayo bet, because I'll bet you he takes at least 7, if not more.
I would have been a lot more worried about Kansas in this game and in potentially the next game if Mayo hadn't have been able to pull himself out of the bad spot that he was in, a few weeks ago. He's been shooting, much better. We saw him do that against UCF. We really even saw him do that against Arizona too.
Yeah, he's a key. I don't know if he's the key, but he's a key. They just need some combination. And whether it's Diggy Cord or Ryland Griffin, whoever it is, they need some combination of those guys to be a threat and to make some shots, right? Because what else are you going to do offensively? Like Hunter Dickinson's going to be great, I think, in the game, but he can't score 50.
This is the same thing I brought up, whenever they got Hunter Dickinson last year and watched them play, and then this year as well. I thought back to as soon as they got Hunter Dickinson of the Fairleigh Dickinson versus Zach Edey. And it's like whenever you are a college basketball team that relies on playing that way and playing through your center, you're going to get chipped by a team that makes 23 pointers. And so they have to find a way to not be the team that does everything through Hunter, because at some point, 2 points versus 3 points, you're going to take the threes and all those possessions, they're going to knock you off. And that's the recipe for Cinderellas that love to play teams like this. Zach Edey and Purdue figured it out, went to the national championship the next year. But whenever you have teams like that, it's not written on the wall. But.
So are you calling John Calipari a Cinderella? Is that what you're calling him today?
I mean, he's a double-digit seed, I guess. I don't know what the term of Cinderella is.
Teams that don't get to spend $15 to $20 million on their basketball program probably would be a good place to start. They're not any more of a Cinderella than Kansas is a Cinderella.
I liked yesterday in Bill Self's presser. I don't know if you heard this. He said that he doesn't like the draw, but they don't deserve a good draw. But nobody's really talking about them, and they may be able to sneak up on a team. The Kansas Jayhawks.
I'm not sure anybody's sneaking up on Kansas is sneaking up on anybody. I don't.
Well, not when they were the preseason number one, and not when they have Hunter Dickinson. That's the thing. Like as bad as it's been, relatively speaking, they can't sneak up on anybody because you look at them. And you're like, oh, yeah, DeJuan Harris won a national championship. KJ Adams won a national championship. Hunter Dickinson's one of the best players in the country. Zeke Mayo can make 6 threes a game. Like
Ryland Griffin, made a run with Alabama.
Yeah, but here we are. It's just not the best fit together for this group. But again, how many times have we said it? They are capable of beating anybody on any given day, on any court. Not just because they get lucky, because they're good enough to do it.
You got to have somebody. Every KU fan on social media that you'll find talks about who is going to be the Remy Martin, because you can't go far without a Remy Martin on your team. If you only have Hunter and Zeke, you're not going to be able to get it done. Who's the Remy Martin?
I don't think it's going to be Diggy because they can't leave Diggy. No, it's probably a better chance to be Ryland Griffin.
I think it's going to be Griffin. I think it had to be Griffin to be that guy. There was that flash, the small flash of AJ Storr, but I don't think it's going to be him consistently.
Keep an eye on DeJuan Harris. DeJuan Harris has shot more. I think it was I want to say it was 6 of his last 8. I checked this earlier this week. He's taken at least 7 shots. So he's being a little more. I don't know if that's a good thing. There was a point in his career where we were begging for it, right? Like, take more shots. I don't know that that's the case now, but this is it for him. And he can attack the basket with anybody. So is this the time to do it? Probably.
I mean, even in that senior day game against Arizona, he talked about, he understands that's his last game he's ever going to play out in Fieldhouse. And he played good. I mean, he came out and played really aggressive in that game. And so, him and KJ are 2 guys that won a national championship for a reason. They're huge parts. They just have to have the parts around them to be that much better.
Yeah, I think KJ will play well in this. You mentioned Flory Badunga. His leash will be an interesting one. Yeah. Because it's not if Arkansas struggles to defend the post, I wouldn't. Flory's not like the offensive threat I ever think about. It's like his presence down there. So I'm not sure if they don't defend the post well. I might lean KJ a little more heavily.
I think
we know he can do it.
Yeah, and I think that he provides just that energy level. I think really though on the defensive end of the court, it goes back to what we've been talking about all week.
Yeah.
They've got to be able to defend the three. They've got to be able to try to find ways to close out, get off ball screens, do as much as they can to be able to get. To keep Arkansas from having wide open looks from the perimeter.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be
they're going to have wide open looks in the perimeter. I mean, they just can't. Teams that play Kansas do. It's can they not hit shots?
I was gonna say, it's just going to be Kansas defense versus SEC offense, basically. Can you slow it down and can you limit the amount of possessions? Like KU is going to have to be, I think, really diligent in slowing down the shot clock and playing their game of basketball because they can't defend like that for 100 possessions or whatever it's going to be that Arkansas is going to try for.
Last year, Kansas was in a very similar situation. I mean, really, it was like they can't play a team that shoots the three well, and they played two of them.
Yep.
They almost lost to Samford. They did lose to Gonzaga. That's where, when we talk about the draw and liking the draw, there's probably PTSD in that from last year, where it was like, oh, God, no. Like, look at the teams they drew. This year, complete opposite, even though they're two better teams than what they drew last year. So what a weird dynamic for Kansas, right? Like it's just I feel so much better about them going into the first round of the NCAA tournament this year than I did last year. And they did have a more disappointing year this year.
One thing that we talked about, we're kind of split, I think, on if this team is good enough to beat St. John if they get there.
I think that they can beat St. John.
I do too.
Because, if you want to talk about how bad of a shooting team Arkansas is, St. John is even worse, at least from beyond the arc.
Right.
And so, again, that draw does favor the Jayhawks, but they've got to be able to execute. It's going to come down to them and the kinds of shots they can make, whether it's Zeke Mayo from beyond the arc or Hunter Dickinson in the post.
All that being said, we are talking about the Kansas Jayhawks, and as we've seen for the past decade, if your team playing Kansas Jayhawks, you're going to make 10 threes. That's the way it works.
Yeah, well, in the tournament, for sure. And can they withstand that? And I think that's a good point. Kansas would like to play great. And honestly, I think Kansas can play good defense and that still happen. I think those things can coexist to some degree, but they have to be great everywhere else. The question is, can they keep up with that, right? Can they generate enough offense to keep up with that inevitability that's going to happen? They have shown us at times this year that they can, but they can't do it without Zeke Mayo. I think it's Zeke Mayo. We said, right, Zeke's got to be good or they're going to be in trouble, most likely. So it'll be a tip time at 6:10. It'll kind of kick off the night session here. So we're looking forward to it. It'll be on K-Witch.
Going to be competing with Mizzou Drake here.
But that gives you two good options, honestly.
Totally. Yeah,
like
totally.
you can bounce in, you can bounce out, or just watch KU, but have the energy of that. I think both is the right answer. But it's going to be great. And well, I'll show people here. We got a couple minutes left. You see that screen right there is going to have games down here, which is really, really cool. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to having the games inside. And then, guys, and I've said this, and we're just about to leave the air here. I'm looking forward to all these places around just having basketball games on. Just do a little bar hopping.
Yeah, and we're still, 2 hours, a little over 2 hours away from tip time here locally.
But you'll have 3 other games that we'll have tipped before we get in there and go.
I was figuring out what I was going to do because I was supposed to go live even earlier this morning. And I was like, it's fine. We'll get done at 10. I'll go home and take a nap and come back at noon. And I'm like, what am I talking about? I'm sitting here all day. It's fine.
I'm sitting here all day, too. I got to do a noon live shot. And then I'm going to find one of these great places, whether it's one of these food trucks or restaurants, have some lunch. We got TJ and I have newscasts all day. Tommy's going to be up here with the Odyssey crew all day. We're going to be having fun. Yeah. And again, we'll write your hooky notes. If you got them, bring them. We'll sign them. Just say you get to take off work. Most people are.
Yeah.
That I've talked to, they're going to take like a half day and then get down here and be ready to party.
I've heard of so many watch parties, not only around here where we are right now, but all over town, all over. I mean, and that's the way it is every single year. I mean, especially when you've got Kansas playing on that opening day in prime time right after work. People are going to be doing watch parties all over the place.
Yeah, it is the best day of the year, and the weather. We're in the shade right now, so that's why we still have these jackets on. But out in that sunshine, It's starting to get
It's really
real nice. The wind is dead. It is as bright. There's not a cloud in the sky. This is perfect weather for the springtime. We got about 1 minute left, fellas. Enjoy the bets today. Enjoy the games. We'll be back here tomorrow, 7 to 11 again live. Thanks to Max for keeping us on the air back in the studio. Thanks to Tim Fitzgerald for stopping by. For everybody, we'll see you down here. It's time to party, everybody. Opening day of March Madness. We'll see you tomorrow.
If you're looking to adopt. So again, thank you very much.